All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chang Gang podcast. This is episode 39 featuring Charles, aka Liitaboy. Lita, thank you so much for your time and commitment. I really appreciate you for just being here, you know?
Thank you for having me. I'm excited. I'm nervous.
Alright guys, on the top right, you can see the panel. This is episode 39, nearing 40 already. On the bottom right, you can see both of our Instagram handles. Feel free to drop us a follow if you haven't already. And please note that there are two commands for this podcast. The first one is !podcast. In short, it's just a way for me to get to know my friends on a more personal level. So we're going to be hearing about Lita's life story and experiences. And the second command is !guest, which links directly to Lita's channel. So if you haven't already followed him on Twitch, he is another fellow streamer. Please follow him, show him love, alright? Getting started now. So, Lita, give us a brief introduction about yourself and include some of your hobbies and interests.
Okay, so brief intro. So my name is Carlos, but I feel super weird saying that. So usually when, I talk to people, I tell them my name is Charles because it just feels more comfortable. And then my brother actually started calling me that like a few years ago. So yeah, now when I talk to someone, I introduce myself as Charles, but I go by, my name is Carlos, but I go by Charles. So I am 25 years old. I graduated from Cal State Northridge. Graduated in child development. So I'm a teacher now. Well, I'm a substitute teacher. But I plan on being a teacher eventually after I pass my credential classes. And some of my interests would include, I like sports. Lakers, Dodgers, LA teams. I like football, but it's not like a really big impact on my life. And I like soccer too, but I don't really have any teams. I don't have no soccer or football teams. But so I do like sports. I like to go bowling. I love bowling, even though I'm not that good at it. I love bowling. That used to be a really big thing. I used to go bowling a lot with some friends, like before quarantine and all that. I'm a big car guy. Like I have a Honda Civic SI, so I'm a car enthusiast, but I haven't really done much to my car, so it's really just sitting there. But yeah, growing up with my brothers, they introduced me to just like the car scene a bit. My brother, when I was like in high school or middle school, my older brother, he had a stick shift 2000, I think it was like 7 or 2008, and I'd ride with him a lot, so he inspired me to get like a car like that. It just, I don't know, I've always been inspired by that. And before quarantine as well, I used to go to car meets a lot with friends and stuff, and they were cool, but since everything shut down during quarantine, it's like there's not much you can do besides work out. During quarantine, I kept working out. Before quarantine, I was working out, and that was one of the main things that I stuck with ever since then. Me and my brother, as soon as quarantine started, me and my brother invested in like our own backyard gym, because we knew once we went to virtual learning in college and things were getting shut down. Eventually, we knew that the gyms were going to shut down as well. And we just decided on getting like the essentials that you need for working out, squatting, deadlifting, bench press, just your main compound movements that you'd want to do. That's another interest that I've kept up with for years. But
that's a good overview.
It's such a brief introduction, huh?
It's nice. Don't worry, I got you. So Other than that, how would you describe your own personality?
Describing myself, I mean, I think I'm like such a really friendly person and such an open-minded individual, which I think is really good about myself, but to a certain extent, like, being so friendly and open-minded to anybody, you never know what their intentions are. So, at the end of the day, you don't know if they're gonna take advantage of you and stuff like that, right? But no matter that, like, it doesn't change who I am. Like, I've always been friendly to anybody I talk to or see or hang out with. I'm introvert, so I love when the pandemic hit. Oh my god, it was the best time of my life, because like I didn't really have to go anywhere. Like, I literally had it all. I had everything. I was working through Zoom, I was working out in my backyard, and I was playing my like PC games with my friends. It was literally like paradise, or at least for an introvert person,
Yeah.
Which is something I really enjoyed. But there is times where I feel like trapped inside, around here, because I'm so introvert, and a lot of times I just stay home. And I wish I had I do have some friends that are extrovert that, push me every now and then, like, oh, let's go do something, this and that. But I don't know, it's different. Sometimes I get like when it comes down to going out and stuff, like I start getting like a bit nervous and overthink. So yeah, but I'm not opposed to going out. I do like going out. I do like my free time out there.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
About like your personality, how do you describe yourself?
Yeah.
I think that gives us a good idea, honestly.
I hope so.
Yeah. We could talk about... So this topic is about your childhood, right? So let us know more about you from like when you were born. What was life like growing up? Like with your parents, siblings, how would you describe that?
Okay. Well, growing up, as far as I can remember, we used to live in a different city. I want to say it's like 15 minutes from where I live now. And this was during middle school. I remember middle school is when I that's when I got into gaming. I started off playing PlayStation, PS3, like online gaming specifically, because before that, I mean, I played PS2, PS1, GameCube and all that, but middle school around that time is when I got into online gaming. I wasn't really focused on grades much during middle school. I was more focused on just getting, as soon as I get home from school, turn on my PlayStation and game all day until the next day, and repeat it throughout the week, and then on the weekend I just game all night. And it's funny because I used to do it so often that I literally game all night, and it came to the point where I started losing weight because the fact that I would game so much. I would eat like once a day, and it'd be like literally at night, and I started losing weight because of that, and I started doing like all-nighters or over the weekend, which is something that it was awesome, like playing all night with your friends is the best time of your life, and that's as far as my middle school, like remembering everything. Like, I did have a good time because I would join the after school program sports. I would play the usual basketball, football, and baseball, not soccer, but baseball or softball. It was softball in middle school, and I'd play those sports after school, and it was really cool. I mean, I was getting the exercise that I didn't know I needed, but I was getting that exercise after school, and that was something I'll always remember about when it comes to middle school. And then transitioning into high school, I was going to be a freshman at a high school that my brother was already attending. My brother Fetty Wapo. Yeah, he was a senior when I was transitioning to freshman year, and I thought that like going to school with my brother was awesome, you know. But he introduced me to like, because I was nervous. Obviously, it's a new school, new people. You know, you get the like, I don't know, anxiety and stuff like that because you
Mm-hmm.
don't know anybody, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and he made it a lot easier because when I was a freshman, he had told me he's like, don't worry, I got you. Like, you know, I'll introduce you to my friends. They'll love you. Blah blah blah. You'll be with me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how it was, you know, during nutrition and lunch. Every day I'd hang out with his senior classmen, and it's funny because a lot of people from my freshman class thought I was a senior because of who I was hanging out with, you know.
Yeah.
Eventually, like I want to say mid-year, freshman year, like that's when I started meeting or hanging out with like my freshman class and stuff like that. And then it made the transition a lot easier, you know, having my brother just welcome me into like a new crowd and they're all cool and stuff like that. But then when he was gone the next year, sophomore year, it was a lot easier meeting having the same class and hanging out with them and stuff like that. And high school was fun. Honestly, I did enjoy my high school. It was in a way it was a drama free high school because we didn't really have any problems in our high school, you know. It was it's funny, our high school was literally just one building with 5 floors in it. That's literally our high school. It wasn't a really big high school, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't a big high school, but it was a safe high school, which I did like, you know. I like being in a safe environment. So I did enjoy my high school. The only thing I like regret about high school is that I didn't play any sports in high school. And I remember like senior year, you know, I would think about how I wish I played basketball freshman year. But you can't really dwell on the past, you know. So I got over it. But yeah, senior year was actually kind of tough because I want to say I spent most of that year like studying like my butt off because I was supposed to apply to all these Cal States, you know, and that's when, you know, they review your grades and stuff like that. And well, over here in my school, your senior year, if there's classes that you have like a F or a D, you know, you could take adult school, which is after literally school ends at 3:30, you go, or 3:15, you go to a classroom at 3:30 and you're there for like 2 hours, basically making up the classes that you messed up on like previous years, you know. So my senior year was pretty much how I was, you know, out of school like at 3:15, and then I'd go to a classroom and try to make up all these grades that I had like, I think I want to say I had like 4 D's. Like throughout my high school experience, I had like 4 D's, and I had to make those classes up because to get into like the Cal State, you know, you need a GPA and all that stuff, you know, GPA requirement. And that's pretty much how my high school year went, my senior year. But nonetheless, it was cool. It's funny because, you know, everybody is hyped for their prom, their I think it's called grad night and all that. But when I tell people that I never went to prom, they're kind of shocked because they're just like, wait, what? You didn't go to your own like senior year prom? And that's one of the reasons why I say like I'm extrovert, you know. It's just like the anxiety builds up and I don't know, you get nervous and stuff like that. Because for one thing, at prom, when you go to prom, like to me, I see it as like, okay, you're gonna go with the date, you're gonna go dance, you're gonna go do like all these things, be social, blah blah blah, right? But for someone who's introvert, it's like, and someone who doesn't really know how to dance, it's just like, it's madness, you know. You get nervous, I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it overwhelms in my opinion. But and at that time, I had a girlfriend at that time, the senior year, and she was a junior, but she was best friends with one of my senior classmates, right? And since I wasn't going to prom, it's funny because I wasn't going to prom, and her best friend, she knew I wasn't going to prom, so her best friend had asked her like if she wanted to go to prom with him, which I didn't mind and all, but I don't know. I find it's kind of a funny story, you know, your own girlfriend or goes to your own prom and you didn't even go. But yeah, I didn't end up going to my prom. I did go to my grad night. Grad night was awesome. You know, we went to Disneyland, and yeah, well, I hardly ever go to theme parks, and I'm afraid of heights, you know, but Disneyland, it was really cool. That's pretty much what I want to say about my senior high school recap, growing up and stuff. And after high school, you know, I had applied to Cal State, I want to say Northridge, Cal State LA, Dominguez Hills, and I want to say Pomona. But something with the paperwork went wrong that I didn't get into Pomona and Dominguez Hills. And I didn't get into Cal State LA because they said of my I think my SAT scores, which is weird, I guess, because they say Cal State Northridge is a hard school to get into and blah blah blah. But I did get into Northridge, which was cool. Oh my god, Cal State Northridge, the campus is like really nice. It's huge, it's nice and all that. And going into it in 2014, I remember that I wasn't at the college level math that I had to be in, and I had to, like, over the summer I had to take, like, it's basically 2 courses that you have to take, you know, and take a test in order to be into the college level math that you need to be in. And that's pretty much the summer before going into college, going into Northridge. Like, that's what I was doing. And because of that, when I passed the courses, my schedule went from, you know, I was supposed to go to school Monday, Wednesday, Friday, because I was commuting, and commuting from my house to Northridge is about like a 45-minute drive. If there's traffic, it'd be like an hour drive, you know. So, you know, I had a schedule that I'd be going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I'd just drive there, drive back, you know. And because of how late my counselor wanted to change the classes or fix my schedule because of the fact that I passed the 2 classes I was at college level math, they messed up my schedule, and instead of going Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I had to go Monday through Thursday and Saturday. So I went from going to 3 days to 5 days, you know. And it was like literally commuting back and forth every day, like 45-minute driving up. And at first it was madness, like oh my gosh, I really disliked it. The only day I enjoyed was Saturday because literally there was no traffic, there was always parking, and there was no traffic on the way back. So it was like super quick, you know. But after that first semester, or during the first semester, you know, I was thinking of like reapplying to Cal State LA just so I can transfer from Northridge to LA the next semester, which would make things a lot easier because I live like 5 minutes from Cal State LA, literally across the street. It'd be so much easier, save so much time, gas, like everything, you know. But I don't know, eventually like Northridge kind of grew on me in a way, because I really enjoyed the campus. And then I basically got used to going there, you know, because I knew like everywhere where to go and stuff like that because of how long I was there, you know. So I really enjoyed being there. The bad part was that I was commuting. I never dormed. All 5 years that I was there, I did not dorm. So I was commuting every semester. I was trying to choose the best schedules, you know, get there early, leave early, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or try to do Monday, Wednesday and mix things up with the online class. I don't know, I didn't really know what would work. Eventually, my 5th year in, I was just like, I picked in a way, lenient schedule because I don't like working, like on Mondays, I don't like waking up early unless I have to. But I was choosing schedules where I would have to wake up early because of the fact of how convenient it would be to end early, you know? But senior year, I eventually just decided to have a more lenient schedule, going like at 11 in the morning, which would make things a lot easier, and then have like night classes, and it was just a lot easier because going in like around 11, I'd drive at 10. I'd get no traffic on the way. A lot of times there was parking, and then having like the break in between those classes is really something you need. Like my first semester in, I was literally there like it would 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. like classes back to back to back to back, and that was like, that's stressful, so I decided like eventually having breaks in between so I can eat or at least go to the gym, or even take naps in my car. There's been times I'd take naps in my car if I was tired. But I wasn't the only one, there's a lot of people that do that. And I didn't know until I would actually see, like, just passing by, people would go back in their car and you could see them like put their chair back and you already know they're going to sleep,
Yeah.
But yeah, senior year is when I met one of my she was a good friend. And I don't know, it's because I'm so introvert, I didn't meet that many people there. A lot of people from my high school went there, but I never had like the same schedule as anyone from my high school. I never really met up from anyone from my high school. There was times, where I did meet up with some friends, but I didn't really have someone that I would hang out with often. But senior year is when I met one of my friends who, she is really awesome. I met her in one class, and the only reason I met her is because she's so extrovert. Like, she's open to talking to anyone that she sees, and she's super friendly, So one day when we were in class, she had told me, she's like, "Hey, can I see your tattoo?" I was like, yeah. And she was just like, "Oh, can I take a picture of it?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." She was like, "Oh, I really like it, blah, blah, blah." And like, ever since then, we kind of started talking, and it went from like talking every other day in class, to having like social media, and eventually at the end of that semester, when it was going to be my final semester, she was just like, "Dude, we should have like a similar schedule next year, blah, 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 or next semester, take a class." And that's when I took I had like, I think 2 or 3 classes with her. I think it was 3. I had like a music class. I even had a yoga class, which is something I highly recommend. Yoga is really good for you, and I didn't believe it until you actually experience it. But yoga has like, not only does it help you mentally, but it helps you like if you're really into working out and stuff, and if you're having like any like mobility issues, yoga is like the way to go, 100%. But I'm thirsty now.
All good.
So that's pretty much how my last year of college was going, and that's literally when the pandemic had hit, which was in, I want to say March. March is when the schools closed down. It went to virtual learning, which made things a bit tough because, if you're going to be a teacher, it's kind of hard to take some courses virtually when you need to be there with the students, And some of the courses you need to take, like you need to do observation hours and stuff like that. So you need to be at the actual school, and virtual learning kind of made that hard, but it didn't stop like me from passing the course and stuff like that. But it did make other classes easier, and eventually it made my schedule a lot easier because it was virtual learning, so I didn't really have to wake up so early to drive or get ready, to drive 45-minute drive, hour drive, which I did like. I did like that I didn't have to drive that long back and forth. Not that it matters because it was already my last semester, so that's pretty much what happened. They said when we had 2 months left of school, I went into virtual learning, and they said like, oh, the senior class will be able to walk next year. We'll have this and that. But well, you know how the pandemic got worse and worse and worse, and eventually like our senior class didn't even end up walking. I'm sure they sent out like an email. Yeah, they sent out like an email, like updates about when the 2000, because it was 2019. Was it 2019? I think it was. 2019 class will be able to walk 2020, but then that didn't even come by, and now it's already 2021. And I don't know, it's just like I graduated like about to be 2 years ago. Like I don't care about walking on stage anymore.
Yeah.
I already have it, just let it be. But because of that happened, I took a pause. I knew after graduating from Northridge, I wanted to take like a year off to do substitute teaching, because if I would have declared my major of being a teacher when I was a freshman in college, it would have made things a lot easier, as in like I would have been able to take courses where I can get my degree and my credentials at the same time. And because I declared my major so late, which was I think like my junior years when I declared the major, I had to take classes just for the degree, but now I also have to take my credential classes on right after, so it's like, it takes longer. But I was planning to take a year off after graduating, and just take the year off as in school, but also start substituting so I can get the experience, But plans change. The pandemic didn't get any better, and sooner or later, like I lost a bit motivation into getting back into the credential program, because I really enjoyed the break of not having homework, not having to go to class and stuff like that. But it's been, I want to say, like a year and 5 months since going to school. But eventually I do plan on going. So I'm a substitute teacher now, because I wanted to apply for substitute teaching for LAUSD, but you need to have your CBES passed in order to be a teacher. But because I haven't passed the CBES yet, I'm a substitute teacher for a different company, which I just started like last week, and I'm enjoying it. But I don't know, it's like your first day of teaching, you get really, really nervous. So my first day of teaching was last week on Monday, but I don't know, I just got super nervous. I did good. I think I did good. The kids love me. I love the kids. They're awesome. They were cool. They were chill. And now it's like just a whole new schedule, working like throughout the week, because this week coming up, I'm going to be at the same school. I'm going to be working there more hours, but I'm going to be at the same school. And when it comes to substitute teaching, I applied for elementary, so it could be any grade from kinder to 5th grade. So whenever you get these jobs, they tell you, they give you the description, it's going to be 3rd grade multi-subject, or it's going to be K through 4 PE, physical education, which last week was a mix of doing physical education of classes of kinder to 4th grade. And it was cool. It was good. I used to be a teacher assistant, so I have my experience working with kids, so I kind of know how it goes. But it's different, your teacher's aide, from being a teacher's aide to a teacher, it's different. So last week it was K through 4, and then on Friday I did teach a different class, which was strictly 3rd grade, and that was cool too. I enjoyed it. You follow the lesson plan and stuff like that. And this week coming up is when I'm going to teach kinder all Monday through Friday. It's going to be the same class, same kinder class. I'm pretty sure I've already seen the kids, because last week I was there at the school, and I was teaching physical education, and I was teaching like kinder classes, so I'm pretty sure I'm gonna know I'm gonna recognize the kids once I get there, But yeah, so far I got into substitute teaching. I do plan on going back for to pass the CBES. I already applied to take the test, and I do plan on going to Cal State LA, hopefully apply and do the credential program there, just because it's a lot closer. But I'm gonna be open to other schools. I do plan on applying to like Long Beach, Northridge, and other schools like that, because I gotta be open, But I want to say that's where I'm at right now so far,
Yeah, like a whole overview of what you went through in your life.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I can't go into because video games have always been a big part of my life, for me and my brother, so I've really since middle school, I've been gaming all my life, and it went from just gaming casually with friends to we kind of took gaming seriously, as in my brother and my two friends, we were a squad of 4, and growing up we used to compete in these it's called, the online website's called gamebattles.com. So we used to compete there every day. Just you request a match, you go up against another team of 4, and you play against them, and they have the rules of search and destroy, domination, this and that. And then at the end of the season, you have your playoffs and stuff like that. And that's pretty much my whole childhood. When it comes to gaming, we would, every year a new Call of Duty comes out every year, boom, all of us would play on it. We'd all be a team together, and we were all playing against, just over the years you play against similar people, every now and then you get new competition, but over the years you play against similar people that are always a squad, are always getting the new Call of Duty. So you learn to recognize who you're playing against, and I remember I've played against a couple of pro players that they are now, or they were, but back then they weren't pro Call of Duty players, but I remember playing against them back then, and now some of them, you get to see that they're actually pro Call of Duty players. But yeah, that's pretty much my whole childhood. It was all about gaming, especially if you have your brother there too, gaming with you. Obviously, you're gonna be more you're gonna want to keep going. Your brother's there, you're gaming with him all night, all day. It's just, it's a big part of your life, And video games were a big part of my childhood. And I don't know, it makes me sad because when you graduate high school, all of a sudden all these responsibilities come,
Yeah.
and you're in college, you're out of college, you're working, and it makes you miss the old times when you had you're literally in high school or middle school. And I just remember I'll get home, I'll turn on my PS3, Xbox, PS4, and I'll just start gaming, it makes me reminisce so much, it makes me sad a little bit because we're all older now, so we all have our responsibilities and stuff like that. But I always love it. I always enjoy it. I love gaming.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you more specific questions about your life. Okay, so growing up versus now, what was your relationship like with your parents and your siblings?
So, I grew up without my dad. Just had my mom there. So I had a stepdad for, I want to say, since I can remember, which was middle school, all the way into towards the end of college. It's been a long time. They were together for a long time, but for the most part, my mom basically played both roles, mom and dad. And now since I was a baby, out of 5 kids, I'm the baby, so she obviously spoiled me and all that. Even my brothers too, they would spoil me, and I've always been the one to get along with all my brothers. All my brothers, no matter like what they do or if they're bickering with each other, I was always the one that would just get along with every single one of them. Because a lot of the times my brothers, they would get into arguments with each other and stuff like that, and I was always the one in the middle that would be the messenger. If he's mad, they'd give me both sides of the story, blah blah blah, and I was always there for them. But yeah, like getting along with my brothers, they all loved me, or they still love me, but I got really close to my brother Fetty Wapo, because we not only are we like 3 years apart, we share literally like the same interests. We're both going to be teachers, we both love cars, we grew up gaming together. He was there for me when I started working out. We both started working out together, had similar schedules, like literally everything. We do everything together. So that's one of the reasons why I got really, really close to him, out of the rest of my brothers. And also two of my older brothers had already moved out by when I was in like beginning of high school. They weren't living with us,
Yeah.
So I've always had good relationships with my brothers. I still do, I talk to them every now and then. I still live with 2 of my brothers, so I always had a good relationship with them. I want to say I have a better relationship with them now than I did before, because now like we're more caring for each other, like it's the small things. If my brother is in a hurry and he needs to leave, like go ahead, like I'll open the gate for you, drive out, I'll close it, like little things like that. We're more caring for each other. Or if like he wakes up early and he makes food, he'll make extra for me when I wake up and stuff like that, so it's just the little things like that I've noticed that we're more open to doing for each other, which is good. Helps it's a strong relationship between all of us. But yeah, I currently live with just Fetty and my other brother and my mom, so it's just us 4. But growing up, yeah, my mom was always the mom and dad, whatever. If there was something that I wanted, she'd try her best to get it for me, and if she couldn't, she couldn't, and that was fine. But she always it's funny, she always made it a priority on trying to like spoil me, because when she was with my stepdad, it made bills and stuff like that a lot easier. But obviously when they split up, the whole it's all on her, because she was the adult and we were still like middle school, high school, so we couldn't really do much to contribute, but she tried her best on getting us what we wanted. And she still did. She got us a lot of things. I remember like she had some extra money to spend, so she decided to go to Vegas, just to spend a couple bucks. And I was fine. My brother was taking care of me. She went to Vegas, and my brother had an Xbox at the time. We started playing PS3, but my brother had an Xbox at the time. And I told him, I was like, because I saw how fun he was enjoying it, I was like, man, I want an Xbox now, blah blah blah. And my brother was like, hey, our mom's at Vegas, you should text her, you never know, what if she won, blah blah blah. I was like, all right, you know what, I'm gonna text her. I text my mom, I'm like, Mom, I want an Xbox 360. And she's just like, okay, I'll get it for you. I just want $700, blah blah blah. I was like, what the heck is she want? She want like 700? It was like 7 something, $700 gambling over there, and she ended up buying it for me like literally the weekend. I was like, I tripped out. I was like, what? This is crazy,
Yeah.
And that just goes to show that how like, she if she won money, and I like just the timing of me asking her like, I want this, literally she was like, okay, like I got it for you. And it's good to a certain extent. I mean, yeah, spoiling us, it was good to a certain extent, but there was the priorities of paying for just housing, your food, everything, gas, all that. So she had to split up the priorities like that. and then once my brother Wiki Betty Wapo, once he had graduated high school, some of the responsibility came to him when it comes to paying stuff like that. And I was still in high school, so he had to take on some of the roles of buying things and like paying for things, and even like him trying to buy me things that I needed, or even if I wanted. Like one day he showed up and he surprised me with, I can't remember which iPhone it was, but it was like an iPhone, I don't know, like 6. I don't know, such an old iPhone now, but he came home one day and he had bought me a new iPhone, and I was just like, I was tripping. I was like, wait, what? This is for me? Like, it was so unexpected, but it was so nice of him to just do that for me, But yeah, some of the roles did go on him when he had graduated high school, which put a pause in him attending college, because he had to start working immediately and he had to start paying for bills and all that stuff. But he did take the role, and he was really good at it, because he's good with like management. If there's something that needs to be paid, something that needs to be done, like it'll be in his head and he'll remind the family. And he's always been really good with that, So yeah, he took a pause on going to college after high school. He started working, but eventually, I think after like a year and a half, he ended up taking courses at a community college, blah, blah, blah. Then he went to Cal State Long Beach. Then he graduated. We graduated at the same time. Graduated college at the same time. And he is finishing his credential program now this semester by, I think, December. And then he's going to be teaching too. So yeah, that's, I always remember how growing up because he was like the best big brother you can ever think of. He was awesome to me, in high school, after high school, and middle school. Like we did everything together. He's like your best friend, so he's pretty much my best friend. And he was a big part of my childhood and still a big part of my life now. Since we do everything together, and he's always been the one to like, he sees, because I'm like, if I'm sad, or if he'll know something is wrong with me, I don't really like tell people when I'm feeling upset and stuff like that, but he can see it in me. So he's always been the one to like, if he sees that I'm upset or sees that I'm like feeling down, he tries to be there and like support with something that he knows that will cheer me up, or do something together. But he's always been really supportive about what I do. And even throughout my childhood, he's always been really supportive. He understands me the most out of like everyone from my family, from all my brothers. Because growing up, I didn't live with my 2 older brothers. They had already moved out, had their girlfriends, had their kids already, Yeah. And then, so it was just my brother Fetty and my older brother, but he's already older. We don't share similar interests that much. So it's not that it's hard to connect with them, but there's not much to do when there's someone that has other priorities and other stuff that they want to do, besides you. So, yeah, he's your brother. He's cool. You guys are, great relationship, but, I just connect more with my brother Rix. So he was like, I don't know, growing up, he made things fun. It was the best.
What's the age gap for you and your, like, the eldest?
So I'm 25. Fetty is 28. The one after that is 30. I want to say 32. And I think it's my 2. It's kind of hard to remember. My 2 older ones, they're I think it's 38. 41. Oh, I think so. Yeah, they're old. They're old already.
There's a mommy raid. What the?
Oh, mommy's raid.
Thank you, Papi. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate you. Hope all is good. Raid. Congratulations. Does that mean he did his 100?
100 what?
100 hour stream, I think.
I saw he was streaming for so long.
Oh my god. Advances.
I don't know how you stay sane. Senpai.
Yeah, that man's insane.
He does
appreciate you. We're here talking and listening about Lita's life. I'm so used to calling you Lita, not gonna lie.
I actually don't mind, like, for all my friends to call me that. I prefer, like, them calling me that than like my actual name, just because I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
I cringe saying my own name. I feel so weird saying Carlos. What the hell is that? I don't know. I don't
It's
like
just
that
you personally? Okay.
name.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that's you were talking about your life specifically, your relationship with siblings and all that. So how would you describe like the city that you're in, the diversity, the lifestyle of everyone? Like how would you explain that?
The city that I'm in, it's there. There's way too many people here. It's so we're in LA, so it's like, so it's called City Terrace, I think, which is like 10 minutes away from downtown. I've been living here for like, I want to say over 10 years in this specific area. I like it. Well, I've gotten so used to just the neighborhood and community, so you recognize your neighbors and everybody around you, which is cool. But at the end of the day, it's not your safest neighborhood either, so it's like, at night, make sure you lock your doors, make sure you lock your gates, just because of past experiences that, just some sketchy people out there that you don't know. So like, I like to say that, some of my neighbors are cool, but I would also like to state, like, it's not the safest neighborhood over here, which I really dislike, and my family's trying to get out of, so that's why, that's what's motivated us to, start our careers and stuff like that, because we don't want to live here forever either. It's, yeah, at least cool, but depending on the area you're in, it's not the best area, but you got to make do with what you got. Or how do you say it? I think that's how you say it. But I am kind of glad that I'm still living here, because how comfortable I am being here. But actually, we are moving out soon. We're gonna move out to the city we used to live in when I was in middle school, which is cool. I think we should be moving within the next couple months, which is cool. But it's also like getting a little nervous, because it's a different neighborhood, so you don't know what to look out for and stuff like that. Always, I don't know. Growing up, we always got to be safe over here. So, yeah, that's pretty much what I got to say.
Nice. All right. So, more specific questions in regards to like your life during your school years, right? You mentioned that you didn't get a chance to play sports, even though you wanted to look back on it. Were you involved in like clubs or activities and that stuff?
Believe it or not, no. During like high school, no chess club, nothing. Like, literally, I would come out of school, I'd go straight to adult school. It'd be, by the time that ends, it's 5:30. Go home, straight to gaming, straight to my PS3, straight to my Xbox. That's literally all it was. I haven't. If there was something I'd do after school, it would have been sports. But besides that, I did no clubs, no activities. Which is something I do regret, because I do wish I did something at least, but it would have helped the resume.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't do much besides that, and that goes for middle school too. Middle school, I mean, I did do my after school sports, but middle school is different from high school, so there was really no sports or no clubs. I mean, so I'd do my after school sports, I'd go home, and boom, straight to gaming. And that's pretty much how my childhood was. Middle school and high school is pretty similar like that.
Okay, let's go. Briefly talking about the subject of basketball, since you're a Lakers fan, right?
Yes.
Do you watch a lot? Like, are you up to date and stuff?
I'm up to date to know like I don't watch their everyday games, but I'm up to date to know like the players, to know what's going on and stuff like that, you know?
Okay, so my question is, who is your favorite player in the league?
Kobe. Oh, what? Oh, I thought you meant of all time.
Okay, I was gonna ask you that too, but Kobe, all right, great player.
Yeah, and growing up, that for me it was Kobe. You know, he was idol, and he is. I'm probably. I think I can say this confidently that he'll be like the only celebrity I got like actually felt upset or like sad when he passed. You know,
Yeah.
Usually like when I don't know, the other celebrities have passed away. You know, it doesn't really. Well, it didn't really hit me. You know, even the ones I knew didn't really hit me. But when Kobe passed, like I don't know, it gets you really sad. You know, like, and I got sad, and I thought it was a lie when I remember seeing like it was during, I think it was January. Pretty sure it was January when seeing like the news that he had passed in a helicopter crash, blah blah blah, and I was just like, I didn't believe it at first, you know, and no one really believed it. You know, a lot of people thought it was a lie. But he was the main impact when it comes to basketball. It's Kobe, you know, best player of all time, but people will argue it, and everybody can have their own opinion, you know. But when someone says who was the best, I always say Kobe, no matter what. But if you're asking who's my favorite player in the league right now,
yes,
it would be I'd have to go with LeBron.
Okay,
have to. Lakers fan.
You have to. Got it.
Yeah, you have to.
All right. Next question in regards to basketball. Who would you say is your top 5 players of all time?
Top 5. Kobe, MJ, Shaq. Shaq. I'm gonna include LeBron. Would be the 5th. The 5th one would be kind of hard. I'd just throw in AD in there. Give me AD. Anthony Davis.
Okay.
We'll take him too.
Gotcha.
All Lakers, all Mutombo.
No worries.
Mutombo.
It's your opinion. All right. Back to things about you. So, based on everything you've done in high school, what was your high school stereotype? What were you known as?
The white boy with colored eyes.
Okay.
And that's you know, my high school was mostly. Oh, actually, it was diverse. Not crazy diverse, but it was diverse. You know, it was like half or 40% Latinos, 40% Armenian, and then you had like Asian, African American, but like a really small percentage of them. But for the most part, it was like Latino and Armenians. Like that was our population there. But because I don't look the part of being, you know, Latino, Hispanic. You know, a lot of people just say he's the white boy with curly eyes, and they instantly knew it was me. Not only because, well, my high school's not big. You know, it's like, I can't tell you how many people, but it's not big. You know, it's one building with 5 floors. So you just imagine, you know, how many people could fit in there. But yeah, describing me, you know, if they said like the white boy with colored eyes, like, because they, you know, there's a lot of people named Carlos. So if they say like, oh, you know Carlos, well, Carlos who? The white boy with color. Oh yes, I know him. I know who you're talking about. Blah 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 blah. So that was, you know, that's what they knew me as. And it's funny because a lot of people didn't believe I was Hispanic. They would say like, oh, you kind of look Armenian. Well, obviously you look white. Or I think I had one person tell me like, oh, you look French. But besides that, they mainly said he looks white and he looks Armenian. Just mainly because your facial hair, the beard, and
Yeah.
a lot of Armenians have colored eyes too. But yeah, that's pretty much what they knew me as in high school.
Wait, are you mixed? What's your ethnicity or background?
So I'm from here, but my parents are from Mexico.
Oh, okay.
Yes. That's my mixture.
All right, another topic. So, have you ever personally encountered any sort of bullying?
In middle school and high school, to me or towards others?
Both.
Both. I don't think. I'm trying to remember if it ever happened to me. I never did any of the bullying. Like I said, I'm always been open-minded, really nice to people. And in high school, like there was, not to say it more as like me being popular, but I knew like literally my whole senior class. I can remember an interaction with them, of talking to them or at least saying hi or something, and which I think it's great. You get to meet a lot of people. So that in high school, like I was cool with like my freshman class. I do remember this one time that actually happened towards me, and I don't know if you'd say bullying, but during freshman year, this was I think during the MySpace time. I think the beginning of Facebook time. Freshman year Facebook time. In the middle of the school year, freshman year, I already had like a lot of my freshman class as friends on social media on Facebook. And I remember there was this one girl, like, that she already had a boyfriend. And I knew that, and her boyfriend was like another guy in our freshman class, but I didn't talk to him. But this girl, she was cool and all. And there was like, because on Facebook you can create posts and anybody can comment on it, blah blah blah. And there was this post that I think I had responded to, or we had talked back and forth, and it wasn't really anything. It was basically, we're kids, right? So in high school, she was just like, oh, you better give me a hug on Monday. That's basically what the interaction was. There was nothing more than that. And he didn't know that it was just that, So come the next day, I remember that I'm sitting down at the table, and during freshman year, during nutrition and lunch, I sat a lot with my brother and his friends. So it was basically at this like senior, they call it the senior tables, right? I remember he tapped me on my shoulder, and my brother wasn't here to see this, but I was sitting with his friends that he introduced me to. So he tapped me on the shoulder and he's like, hey, can I talk to you? And I was like, yeah. And me thinking like, I didn't know what was he going to tell me. We started talking inside. He started telling me like, hey, like, I've seen where you've been talking to my girl, blah blah blah. What were you guys talking about? Like, are we gonna have like a problem and stuff like that? And at first I was like, wait, what are you even talking about? I had asked him, I was like, wait, what do you mean? And he just he talked about like a post that he saw online that we went back and forth. And I was just like, oh, like it's literally just that she wanted me to give her a hug the next day. And he kind of just told me like, kind of just back off or else, we're going to have a problem. I was like, okay, like, not going to do much. I'm not going to fight him or anything. And I remember going back to my brother's friends. So going back, he tells me, all right, cool. He walks away. I walk away. I go to the table. And my brother's friends, the senior class, he's going to be like, hey, like, what happened, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of told them, they're like, hey, don't worry. Like, if he's going to do something, don't worry. Like, we got you, blah, blah, blah. I was just like, no, you guys are good. But, I mean, nothing escalated after that. It was just that one interaction. And it's funny because, I mean, I guess you can say it is bullying to a certain extent. I mean, nothing happened, but I felt like, your guard is up when something like that is going on, so you feel threatened,
Yeah.
So I want to say like that can be the only part that I can think of in high school when it comes to being bullied. There actually, I think junior, because this was during freshman year, so junior or senior year, me and that guy were actually cool. Like we became friends, and we started talking and all that, and we were cool with each other. So I mean, it was just a small little thing during high school. I do remember, I can talk about like a couple occasions where I like thinking about it, I feel bad because I never did anything. I was just like the bystander, and I wish I did do something, but I didn't. Like, for example, I remember being in the locker rooms, and this was during freshman year PE, and one of our freshman classmates, he had like an accident. He peed on himself, and a lot of people were like laughing at him, and he tried to say like, oh, like I spilled Gatorade on myself and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like looking the whole time like about what's going on, and I felt bad because I didn't do anything to be there or anything like that, and you don't really think about it at the time until you go back on it and you really remember like, damn, like I should have been there or stuff like that, because what if it happens to you, and you want someone to be there for you, and I'm sad I wasn't, but that was one time that I do remember. I would say they were bullying him. Nothing really escalated after that.
Mm-hmm.
There was also this one time that I'll always remember, and specifically I'll explain more as I go. This was, I want to say like sophomore, junior year. Our group of friends are talking about like gaming online on PS3, hopping on Call of Duty. We all play blah blah blah. One of our friends, he doesn't have a PS3 or whatever, and he says like, we're all talking blah blah, and he just says like, I don't know, or like not to someone, but like generally, like he states like he's like, oh man, like I wish, thank you, I wish I had someone to somewhere to go where I can play too, with you guys, because he didn't have a PlayStation. And at the time, like I kind of brushed off his comment because he wasn't saying it directly towards me. He was just saying it just out loud, and no one really said anything, And I remember that when I thought back on it, like I felt bad, and more specifically, I feel bad now as like he passed away. I think he passed away last year in June or July, because he was a cop.
Mm-hmm.
He became a cop, right? So he was a cop, and he got shot by like a gang member because he had gone out to go get some tacos with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's brother, and he was hanging around. Like the area wasn't too good to begin with, but he lived in that area, so he was comfortable being there because he's always lived there. And the stories, they tell different stories about like how he passed or what happened. But the story that I'm getting is that like he was there with his girlfriend getting tacos late at night, 1 a.m. He's a cop, so obviously when you're a cop, your instinct is to like, if you're gonna see someone doing something that they shouldn't do, you're gonna to be there and try to do something about it. So apparently there was like these gang members like that were trying to tag up a wall, I guess, to say where they're from or whatever they were trying to do. And he had seen what they were trying to do, and he goes out and he tells them like, hey, you guys shouldn't be doing that. And I guess the gang members had flashed he had a gun, so he had flashed that he had a gun, and they had a bad feeling about what was about to happen. So him and his girlfriend and his girlfriend's brother, they were just like, all right, let's go. And they ended up leaving, and they parked like a block away, and they were leaving. They got in their car, and the gang members were like right after them too. And as soon as they get in the car, like the gang members is like they're knocking on the window, and he lowers his window to like see what they want a little bit. So he lowers it a little bit, and from what they tell me is like he just stuck his gun in and like started shooting at him, and it had hit him. He passed away. I think he passed away on the spot, and it also hit the girlfriend's brother. I think it hit him like somewhere in the cheek, around there. Because when we saw him at the funeral, you know, he had like a swollen cheek, but he was better. And yeah, like I'll always remember. It sucks because I kind of remember the bad, but also there's the good that I remember with my friend. But you know, every time I think of him, you know, I do think of the time where he was just pretty sad about like, man, I wish I had a PlayStation to play with you guys, blah blah blah. Because it makes me feel bad. Like, damn, I should have told them, hey, come over to my house, you know, play with us, blah blah blah. But I didn't, you know. And I don't know if you can call that bullying, but it's, you know, you're neglecting a friend, you're neglecting someone, you know, hurting their feelings in a way. So it's just like, it's something I'll remember and makes me think about. But besides that, like my school, my high school was pretty good. It was a pretty nice high school. You know, you would hardly ever hear of someone getting into a fight or someone doing something, you know, like a lot of the kids there were good. If there was a threat, I want to say there was just like 2, 3, 4 that were gang affiliated in the high school. But you know what, we're kids, they don't know what they're doing, you know, we don't know what we're doing. So besides that, a lot of people were good there, a lot of people were friendly. So yeah, didn't not much to experience when it came to bullying, which was good, you know.
Nice. And so aside from bullying, have you ever gotten into like any physical altercations yourself? Or sustained any like serious injuries?
Altercations, I want to say, do you mean like with the stranger specifically?
It's just anyone. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I could talk about how me and Fetty used to fight, but no.
I mean, that's pretty. I'm sure that's normal. Fight with your bros.
Your brother fighting. You know, you have your brawls every now and then. But actually, I do remember one time at the gym. We were at LA Fitness, and we were playing ball. My brother. One thing you should know about Fetty is he'll speak his mind. So if he thinks you're wrong about something, he'll tell you his own opinion and he'll say why, blah blah blah. If he thinks like something is unfair, he'll speak out. He's like that. He'll tell you the truth. Me, on the other hand, if I think something's unfair, say when we're playing a game, you know, I won't really say anything because I'm just like, it doesn't have to go to that extent where you need to be that serious about things, you know? But I don't think that's a good thing specifically on my part that I don't speak out sometimes, because I feel like you should, but not the point. We're going off trail. So, you know, we're at LA Fitness, you know, we decided to play ball and we're playing a pickup, 5-on-5. Me and my brother are on the same team with 3 other guys and we're playing against 5 other guys, right? And we're in the gym balling. My brother tells one of the guys on the other team that, you know, like he's literally like he's being so aggressive that he's hitting us, like fouling, you know. And when you play ball, obviously you can be aggressive, but to a certain extent, you know. So he had told them, you know, about it. The guy responds like, what do you mean, it's just basketball, blah blah blah. And then my brother responds like, no, that's not how you're supposed to play, blah blah blah. Eventually, I want to say within 5 minutes, my brother and this guy are about to fight. They're like, this guy's like, I think he was like 6 foot, 6'3", 6'4", 6 foot, like around there. You know, we're 5'8", we're 5'9", we're not as tall as that, you know. And I don't know how they got so close, but within a second, like I just remember seeing like they're literally like this, like so close, like about to bump heads. I'm like, I'm from afar, watching from afar, and I'm like, what the hell? I come running in, and I'm like screaming too. I'm like, hey bro, are you good? What's going on? Blah blah blah. Just trying to like help my brother out, because if someone's gonna fight your brother, you're gonna be there and you're gonna do something about it. No matter if they're wrong. That's your brother. That's your family. So they're like head to head, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? And me and him were just like, we're like talking smack to this 6'2", 3 guy who can freaking step on us, but we were ready to fight him, even though it was probably gonna cost us our LA Fitness membership. We were ready to get physical with him because he was being, to begin with, he was being aggressive, so we were already out. It's funny because a lot of the people, like the other guys, are just like, yeah, like, nah, he's wrong, blah blah blah. And at the end of the whole altercation, like, we just ended up leaving. And my brother was like, my brother gives me props. He's like, hey bro, he's like, I see you, you're sticking up for me. Okay, I see you. Because one thing about me is like, I'm not like that. Like, I'm not one to look for problems. I'm not one to try to start anything with anyone. I will never try to be the one to fight that guy. Even if fight a guy or girl, fight anyone. Even if like those who drink alcohol and they turn into the fighting type. Like, even if I'm drinking alcohol, like, I will always be like the mellow type, So when he saw like that it was like totally different, he was just like, okay, I see you. I was like, I see you having my back. I was like, hey bro, if something's going down, I got you, But that was as physical as it has gotten with like a stranger. There was this one time actually at the same gym. We weren't going to get physical, but the guy was trying to intimidate us because this was 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, I did not make the progress I have now. So 2 years ago, I looked nothing like how I look now. Me and my brother at the gym. We're at the free weight section. We're on a bench doing a specific exercise. I'm sure you've been at the gym. There's weights everywhere. By nighttime or midday, the weights are all over the floor. They're scattered everywhere. We get to this bench in the free weight section. We start doing some workouts. We put our weight away and we walk away. And there's this, we walk away, we go to another machine. And there's this big guy that comes up to us. And he's just like, hey, like, were you guys over there working out? And we're like, oh yeah, like, you could hit it if you want, like, the bench is open. He's like, oh nah, like, you didn't pick up your weight. And this guy was big, and he was, I think, like 2 inches taller than us, but he was like a big bulky guy. And he kind of like, he starts raising his voice that we didn't pick up our weight, blah blah blah. I was just like, it wasn't our weight. So we had told him, we're just like, what are you talking about? We put our weight away. And he was just like, no, I'm talking about the bar that's on the floor. He's like, you guys need to go pick it up. And we told him, we're like, that's not ours. It was already there when we got there. And after he realized that he was wrong, he was just like, oh, all right. And he literally just walked away. Didn't get physical, but you can feel the intimidation when it's there, And we could tell he was trying to intimidate us, but didn't work. But I want to say that's as physical as it has gotten,
Okay.
Which I'm glad.
Yep. All right, let's transition to your work experience.
Okay.
You could start from the beginning. Tell us how you got into it, what it was like, and then how you transitioned if you worked somewhere else, and so forth.
Ooh. Okay. So I first started working at Domino's.
Oh, okay.
I was the best delivery driver you will ever meet. No, but the managers at my job loved me. They put me in a bit, like, I always had like a big responsibility. A year in the beginning, not so much, but a year in, I was the one to open up the store as a delivery driver. I was always one to, answer phones, help them out with whatever they needed, stuff like that, and prepare the store.
At what age?
This was when I was starting in Northridge. I want to say I was like 19.
Okay.
I was like 19. Actually, no, I was 18. But I'm pretty sure it was about to be my birthday. No. Actually, my first day at Domino's was literally on my birthday. That's when they had scheduled me, my first day, which they didn't know, but it was my birthday. So I just turned 19. It was my first day. I didn't really do, I didn't work too many hours. It was like, I think 3 hours that they're just trying to have you get familiar with everything in the store. But I did work there for 3 years, which I'm not proud of because I wanted to quit literally after the first year. And this is how bad that I wanted to quit. Right? I'll explain a little bit. The thing is with Domino's at my job is if they schedule you from like 2 to 6, it doesn't mean you get to leave at 6. If it's really busy at 5:30, 6 o'clock, you're working there until more drivers come and until it gets less busy. And apparently they said like that we signed like a document or whatever that we, if we're scheduled for 4 hours, if they need us for longer, they can keep us there. Blah, blah, blah. I never fought it because I didn't care. But I didn't necessarily like that. That. Oh, thank you. I didn't necessarily like that. If you're scheduled from a certain time, you should be able to leave at that time, because what if you have plans to do something else on your day, So it really messes up your plans, and you can't really plan accordingly when having a schedule like that. So I was a really good delivery driver there. I used to, in my first year I remember they would have me closing on Friday, Saturday, and we'd close the store like at 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. Close the store at 2 a.m. Friday, Saturday. Not only that, I would work on Sunday from 5 to 9 p.m. And something you got to know about me is I love my Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, specifically whether if there's a holiday going with my family or just hanging with friends or hanging with my brother. Those are the days like I like having off. I don't like working on those days, And for me to like be closing Friday, Saturday, and then work Sunday midday, there goes your weekend. There goes like anything you want to do, Linda, Charles, you a hard worker. Oh my god. But yeah, it was so bad that I disliked it so much working those days that eventually I had, I told my manager, I was like, hey, like I can't work the weekends anymore because I'm gonna be working with my mom, blah blah blah. I had to come up with an excuse in order to get a different schedule. And she was just like, okay, but just to let you know, everyone works the holidays because like Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's, like that's when it gets the busiest for Domino's, for pizza. Everybody orders out, And so she was just like, okay, but on holidays, like everybody has to work. Nobody has a day off. I was just like, that's fine, So eventually I had Saturday and Sunday off now. And then I was still like, it was still bugging me that I had to close Fridays. So I was just like, I was telling her, I was like, hey, like my class schedule changed. Like I'm going to be at school like at 4 p.m., 5 p.m. I have class late, And that's pretty much how I got my early shifts at Domino's Monday through Friday, and which is something I enjoy to a certain extent. Working early shifts at a pizza place, you don't get the best tips as if you're working Friday, Saturday, Sunday late shift, More people order, more tips, and that's just how it works. But I did like that schedule after a while. Eventually, and during this time, I would do Uber as well. I wasn't doing Uber like crazy, but around this time, Uber was paying pretty good. Uber was they were paying pretty good. Nothing to compare now. Now they don't pay good, but they were paying really good. And I was doing Uber on the side too. Eventually, I was like, man, you know what? I'll just quit Domino's and start doing Uber and have the like a lenient schedule. You know, I could do it when I want. Now, something I did not take into account is that you actually have to work. So I was having such a lenient schedule that I'd work like one day out of the week, just enough to pay whatever I had to pay, you know. But that's not good because you're basically, you know, paycheck to paycheck still. And it wasn't going good, so I'd work like 2 days out of the week and then not work the next week. And yeah, it just, you lose motivation, you know. But that's after 3 years in of Domino's, I quit. I started doing Uber for a couple months, and that's when I had applied to be a teacher's aide. And I applied to be a teacher's aide at the same school. I was doing observation hours for my classes at Northridge. So there's if you want to be a teacher, you know, there's one class you need to take where they require you to spend observation hours at a certain elementary school. And my sister-in-law, she's a special education teacher at this elementary school close by, and I had asked her if, you know, if I could do my hours there. And she asked the principal, and he was totally cool with it. You know, I got there, did my observation hours, 20 hours. At the end of my 20 hours, I had asked them, I was like, hey, like, are you guys hiring, blah, blah, blah. And they told me, like, yeah, we're hiring, apply. I did the whole process, and eventually I got hired, like, in October 2019. 19 or 18? I think it was 19. Yeah, 2019. And it was cool. Like, I knew that I loved working with kids, especially because my nephew and my niece, I always loved being around them growing up. When I was in high school, you know, my grandma, I used to live with my grandma, and she would take care of my nephew. So I would see him often, you know. And I love my nephew, I love my niece. So I love being around kids, you know, working with kids. It's cool. And yeah, I was a teacher's aide for kinder, and my teacher was awesome. The first year with these kids was kind of bad, and I'll say why. So my teacher, she tells me that this was one of the most craziest years with these kids, because of their behaviors. We had a handful of kids where, you know, if they didn't get what they wanted, specifically one kid, if he didn't get what he wanted, or he wanted to do something else besides what we had to do, he would start throwing a tantrum. I'm talking about, like, he'll start throwing chairs. Anything he could get his hands on, he would throw it around the classroom. He didn't aim it specifically at someone, but he'd just throw things. Get his shoe, he'd launch it across the room, you know. And, you know, the only thing we can do is, you know, protect the other kids, you know. My principal has like a strict policy of, like, touching. You know, he doesn't like kids touching you or hugging you or something like that. Just, you know, just to be cautious about, you know, stuff. So we can, like, when this child would throw like a tantrum like that, I couldn't even stop him, like, as in, like, put my hands on him to like stop him from doing what he was trying to do, you know. I can't do that, or else, you know, I would have gotten in trouble. So the only thing you can do is, like, trying to protect, like, the other kids just get in the way with your body, and whatever he does, you know. If he hits you, he hits you. But we're talking about him doing all these things within minutes of the principal on its way from his room, you know. So the principal comes, and this was multiple occasions in my job, like once, twice a week. I'm talking about this child would, you know, just, if he didn't get what he wanted, he'd start being upset. And that's part of the reason, like, you know, that's how you grow up in your household, you know. Whatever, if you get upset and you get what you want, and you know what you're going to do in order to get what you want, you know. And that's how he would do that's what he would do at the school. And it's crazy because this child, like, his behavior was bad, but he was the smartest child there. Like, For kinder, his vocab was pretty big. Like he was really smart, and yeah, it was crazy, you know. But not only that, like we had other kids. We had this one girl who, you know, she'd literally fight the other kids. Like if she got mad that they didn't give her the ball, like she'd go and try to punch them or push them or do something.
Jeez.
Yes, that's how. This was a different girl, and you know they're all in the same classroom. And I mean, you never know what's going to happen, but you got to keep a close eye on them, you know. So that was one girl. And then we also had like another child who just really couldn't stay put in his seat when we needed to. He was always just walking around. He was always like just kind of doing his own thing. But for the most part, he was a good kid. You know, he'd listen for the most part, but a lot of times he was just really like if he had the jitters a lot, you know. He liked to move around. He liked to walk around. And this is my first year as a teacher's aide. You know, I don't know what to expect. So I thought like this whole behaviors with all these kids doing what they're doing was normal until I had talked to my teacher, like that she tells me like this is the most hectic it's ever been. Like she usually has really good kids. Like the experience isn't that bad. Like she, even before I had gotten there, because I got hired mid-year. So, you know, before I had gotten there, she had told me like, oh, like the same child that would throw his shoe, blah blah blah. She told me like that child had tackled her, like if it was football, like tackled her, and that's one of the reasons why it was like so hectic. But she tells me like that this was the most hectic it's ever been. And I was telling her, I was like, I thought this was normal. Like I thought this is how it's supposed to go. She's like, no. Until the following year, you know, the kids were different. You know, same teacher, so she built a similar structure around those kids, and they were better. They were good. Actually, my last year with those kids were good. They're really good. I missed them. And unfortunately, when I graduated, because if you want to be a teacher's aide, and for LAUSD, you need to be enrolled in college courses. So when I graduated last year in 2019 in May or 2020 May, 2020 May. When the pandemic had hit, they really didn't pay attention to my status that I had graduated already. So I was still working at the school a year after I graduated, but technically I wasn't. But they didn't take too much attention because of the pandemic. Like they didn't know, you know, we've never gone through this. So, you know, schools shut down, blah, 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 you know, like they didn't tell me anything. But new school year coming in, they had told me like, hey, like you need to update your transcripts, you know, you need to send in your classes that you're taking, blah, blah, blah. And I had told them that I graduated. So I was telling my school. So my school was telling me like, okay, you need to talk to HR. Let's see what can happen. Can you still work here? It's such a silly rule that if you graduate college, like you can't be a teacher's aide unless you're enrolled in courses. I don't know, like I find that unfair, but you know, it's not a big deal. So that's when I stopped working. I stopped working there, and I stopped in the school year ended in I think June this year, and I was doing May this year, and I was doing a summer program at a different school from June to July, and it was with a whole different set of kids, and it was cool. But that's where it ended as a teacher's aide, and I just started substitute teaching last week. That's pretty much how my job experience has been. I want to say.
Nice. Okay. Good with the kids, I see.
Mm-hmm.
So
They're awesome.
The next topics is more about the social aspects in your life. So have you personally gone through like a party phase, or are you big on events, clubs, raves, and that sort? You could
Party
you
phase.
could just talk about whatever in that regard.
Party. Party phase. My party phase. I don't know if it was a phase. So when I was in high school, my friends, they'd have their kickbacks every now and then, and I always wanted to be a part of it. Always. So I'd always ask my mom, like, "Can I go?" Blah blah blah. Of course, Mexican mom, she's like, "Yeah, but I want you home at 9." I'm like, "What? The party starts like at 8. What are you talking about?" She's just like, "Oh, why are you so late? Blah 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 blah." I'll be like, "Mom, party starts late. Like, what can I do about it? And she'd just be like, "Fine, I want you home at 10:30. I'm like, "Man, why you gotta do this to me?" And it's funny because I would pull the same thing every time. It'll be like 10:30. She'd be already texting or calling me like, "Where are you at? You're supposed to be home already. I already told you all." I'd be like, "Mom, they're opening up the gifts. I gotta wait after." It'll be like 11:30. "They're still opening up the gifts? How long does it take?" That's kind of how I went a lot of times when it came to like kickbacks and stuff like that with my high school friends. And I always wanted to go, always. But it wasn't until like after that, like, didn't really have a high school like a party phase. I did go to like Halloween parties, like every now and then. I went out for a kickback, and I'm talking about like in the span of months, not like every weekend I was out there. In the span of like every other couple months, I would go to like a kickback. Because after high school, I was in a relationship with this girl, and we were together for like 2 years. So, well, when you're in a relationship, you like to spend more time with your significant other than, going to a party, unless you do that together as a couple. But yeah, like, we're together for like 2 years, and there was no parties in between. Obviously, you hang out with fam, but you mostly hang out with each other. And after we broke up, depression hits you. The last thing you want to do is party. So after we had broken up, I was really like sad, in a just sad depression state. That's where Fetty Wapple comes in, and he's like, I remember him telling me, he's like, "Don't worry, bro. She's gonna want you back one day. We're gonna start going to the gym. We're gonna be fit. We're gonna be big. These girls that break your heart, they're gonna regret breaking your heart. They're gonna want you, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, I'm still like sad. I'm just like, nah, like, I'm sad. I'm depressed. I want her back. I'm in my desperate state, So I just want my girlfriend back. But there was no party phase after that. After I had broken up, it was strictly, go work. You're in school, you go work out, and you play video games. That's all 4 I was doing. Until I got into my next relationship, and I was with this girl for like, I want to say like almost 2 years. It was over a year. Same thing. My heart is broken. I'm back to the gym again. We break up. There's no party phase again. There's just me being sad, and I'm just like, what the heck? And that's when Fetty Wapple comes in again. We're going to the gym. We have this schedule where we start going to the gym together, and we're just hanging out more often. Blah blah blah. But there wasn't much of a party phase. But that was me back at the gym again, and I have not gotten into a relationship since then. But the partying, not that it was partying, but my brother and I and some other friends, we've gone to like a club, a bar. Actually, a couple months ago we went, and it was cool, and I enjoy it. But although I don't know how to dance, like, I would like to go to a club. If they have nice music, I'll vibe. I don't mind. I'm totally open for it. I'll have like a beer or two in me, you know, I might be willing to dance even if I look funny. I don't care, you know. But it also like the partying and all that, or raves. I've never been to a rave, but I'll get to that. The partying and all that, it's a big effect when it comes to working out. You know, I prioritize my workout and stuff like that. So when it comes to partying, you know, you're gonna be out there drinking, you're gonna be out there eating good food and stuff like that. So it takes a huge toll on your progress. But I'm not saying you can't do it. Like, you know, you could do it. You just got to be disciplined, you know. But yeah, it wasn't not too much partying. I've never gone to a rave. I love EDM music, like all that, you know, the beats, the bass, all that. Like I really love that type of music, but I've never gone to a rave. Specifically, I mean, the time frame that I've given, like just, you know, being in a relationship, you know, at a relationship, back at the gym, being in another relationship, you know, the going to a rave doesn't set into that mix of events that happen throughout, like after high school, you know. So and now with this whole Travis Scott like situation, it gets me like nervous, you know, when it comes to like going. I've been to concerts. I've been to Mac Miller and Kanye West. I've been to 2 concerts. They've been always chill, but this whole Travis Scott concert was just insane, you know. So that takes apart, like going to a raves too, you know. You just got to be safe, you know. As much as you try, you got to be safe. But you know, if I ever wanted to go to a rave, I definitely wouldn't go alone, or I'd want to go out with a group, you know, and be there together as a group, you know, protect each other. That's the only reason. That was the only way I'll go to a rave. But I love all that music. I actually really love it. I really love that music, but I've never been to a rave.
You have a favorite artist and song?
I think a really cool artist is 4B, but specific songs, no. Okay, a lot of the music I listen to is on SoundCloud. Oh, they're like mixes, you know. They're just hour-long mixes that I'll listen to. But 4B is a cool artist, but a specific song, no specific song.
For sure.
But I don't know, like I only know like a certain amount of songs that I listen to, you know. I know there's a lot of music out there when it comes to like EDM music, so I'm not too experienced with it, but it's the music I enjoy the most.
So talk about your first ever drinking experience.
First ever drinking experience. Drink for me, I'm trying to remember the first time I've ever drank. Why did he look back sideways? Like,
are you like looking out for your mom or something?
Yeah, I'm like, what's my mom doing? What's my mom doing? You know. But I'm trying to remember my first drinking experience. Although I can't, a lot of my experiences are pretty similar. When it comes to just what alcohol does, I'm so like, if I have a couple beers in, I'm more extrovert. I'll be more willing to talk to people like that I don't even know. But I'm more like, I've just been more chill. I'll be more mellow than I am now. Like, I don't know. I'm in a good state when I have alcohol in me. I'm in a really happy state. But yeah, I'm just more chill. Like I'll love to just chill, eat, and listen to the music. If I could just listen to music and just eat while I'm like buzzed or drunk, like I'll be happy. But I remember a lot of my drinking experiences were with they were with my high school friends after high school. You know, they'd host their kickbacks, and I've always been a lightweight. So it doesn't take much for me to drink. But I know for sure that I drink, but I don't drink to the point where I'm going to pass out. I don't drink to the point where I'm going to black out. And I don't drink to the point where I'm going. Did I say throw up? I didn't say throw up, right? Yeah, I don't. For one thing, when I'm sick, I hate throwing up. Like I just hate gagging and all that. Mm-hmm. So when I drink, if I know my next sip is gonna be like me throwing up, I'm not drinking at all. I'm good for the night. Like, I'll take my headache the next day and I'll live with that. Doesn't mean I haven't thrown up though. I've had my occasions where I've thrown up, but yeah, I won't drink to that extent. It's not. I don't feel good. I wouldn't feel good doing that. But yeah, I'm that chill drunk guy. I don't know. Do they even make those?
So, what would you say is your favorite and least favorite drink then?
Okay, so I like sweet drinks. Whatever you want to call it, whatever sex on the beach, whatever name they put on it. If it's sweet, I will drink it. I like drinking red apples. They're super sweet drinks. They're like 5%. But yeah, sweet drinks is the way to go for me. Like, I'll take shots, obviously, and stuff like that. But if I could choose something I enjoy drinking, it'd be any drink that is sweet and has flavor. Worst drink though? Get Fireball. I will never. For one thing, I don't like the cinnamon gum, the red cinnamon gum that's out there. So when I first drank Fireball, I was like, "What the hell is even that?" Like, I will never drink that again. I'm out when it comes to Fireball.
Gotcha.
For sure, don't mess with that.
All right, so that was drinking talk. We're gonna talk more about your interests now. Are you personally big on like movies, TV shows, anime, that sort?
I'm personally big as in is there certain shows I really, really enjoy? And
yeah, like do you find yourself watching any of those?
Oh yeah, I love I like anime. The thing is though, like I don't know that many animes out there, so I could probably name you like 3, like Dragon Ball Z, Attack on Titans. I haven't watched Naruto, but they always recommend Naruto to me. Yeah, there's not that many animes out there, but after watching Attack on Titans, I'm like, damn, like there's a lot of animes like this. I'm just like, dude, I love anime.
Nice.
Other shows, I could name you a couple of shows. They'll always be my favorite. Like, we got Breaking Bad.
Top 5. Let's go.
Breaking Bad. The Office. Game of Thrones. Parks and Rec. Narcos. Narcos Mexico. Narcos Colombia. I think there's a couple more, but literally the best shows that I just said, you will love it. They're funny, they have action, they're just interesting. They're really interesting.
How different they are too, some of them. You got options.
Have you seen The Office?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, because Office is one of my favorite shows of all time. But yeah, there's a couple out there. So I am a big, like, I do like watching my shows. But yeah, those would be my favorite. We have Jersey Shore. We have what's it called? Challenge World Rules. I don't know. I forgot what it's called. But
so like reality shows too.
Some, to a certain extent, I do like them. Like they're kind of cringy. And a part of me, sometimes I can't watch cringe. Um, I can't watch cringe to a certain extent. I don't know. It just feels weird watching something cringy. I just get out of me. Like I just don't. I don't know. Just feels weird. But there's some reality shows that I do like to watch.
Got it. All right. Other things. Talk about the tats you have and piercings.
Ooh. Okay. I'll go tats first.
Sure.
So, my ears. You can see right here. I have both my ears pierced. I've had those since I think I was in high school. I remember getting my ears pierced. I always wanted to get my ears pierced too, and I was telling my mom all the time. I'd be telling her, bugging her, be like, "Mom, let me get my ears pierced." Of course, Mexican mom, no, you're not getting your ears pierced. Eventually, she agrees. She says, "Okay, go get your ears pierced." I get them pierced. They fucking hurt. I didn't know how bad it would hurt. But got my ears pierced. I did like them in high school. I would change my earrings like every other month because there was just some cool earrings out there. Like one time I had like a pill as an earring. I was just really different with it. Now I just kind of keep my whatever piercing I have right now, my little. I do have my nose pierced right here. I got my nose pierced. I want to say it's going to be a year. I got my nose pierced like in December. I do like it. I like my nose piercing. I never thought I'd get a nose piercing though. I never thought ever I'd get a nose piercing. One day I just, I woke up and I was just like, dude, I want my nose pierced. And I just went to go get my nose pierced and it happened. Oh my God, my eye was crying though. I got it on my right side, so my eye was tearing up. Damn, that shit hurt. It hurt. And I was, not only that, you forget that you have your piercing on your face. So when you're taking off a shirt, you're drying your face with your towel, like there's been a couple times like I'll dry my face and it gets stuck on my towel and it pulls it. I immediately start bleeding and I'm like, it hurts. But after a while, you get used to having your piercing there, and like you don't really, every now and then obviously you might pull it on something, but it's not that bad. It doesn't really happen often anymore. Mostly happens in the beginning. The only thing that just sucks is sometimes, like, depending how you sleep, your piercing can fall out, So I remember that one day I was sleeping at night, blah, blah, blah. I wake up the next day and my nose earring is out. I'm like, oh, here we go. I'm over here. I find my earring. I go to the restroom and I'm like trying to poke it in. And the more I'm poking it in, the more I'm bleeding and it's just not going through. I'm like, oh, fuck. Now I have to go back. And I couldn't withstand the pain. I can't hold it there and just be like you just hold it in, like, and go through the hole. Like I couldn't do it. I was just like, nah, I'm gonna go get this re-pierced. And I went that same day and got it re-pierced. I was like, man, this better not happen again. But those are the only piercings I have. I'm not sure if I'll get more. I don't plan like that. I'm more spontaneous. So if I get more, I get more. But right now I'm pretty happy with the piercings I got. Now, as far as tattoos, I only have half my sleeve up. So you can kind of see, I think you can see my wolf right here. It has blue eyes. You won't be able to see, my grandma's name is like right there. It can be too hard to see, but my grandma's name is right here. We have trees, we have mountains. So specifically with this part, my grandma's name, I kind of got it as a remembrance for her when she passed away. That's the only thing I got for her. I did get a couple of roses around her name because she loved to garden. That was a big part of her. She loved to garden. So I got a couple of roses around here. And the wolf was kind of more of a symbol of like to kind of, wolves, they're alphas, they don't back down, they don't like to be pushed around. So it's like kind of a symbol to show that I am strong, that I'm not gonna back down from someone trying to intimidate me, even though sometimes like, my scared self, sheltered self gets nervous and stuff like that on different occasions, but it's kind of just of a symbol like that. And then this second piece, so this was one piece, I got this all in one session. It took like, I want to say, got there at 8 a.m. I left at 10 p.m. So like 14 hours, including like breaks, including eating, and just prepping and stuff like that. That's pretty much all it was for this main session right here. It's a lot of like, the thing with this tattoo is like it has a lot of detail, so it hurt when working on this part right here and down here. Like there's certain parts that really hurt. The second piece I got right here, it's let's see if you can see it. So it's a dove, and if you see, it has a roll of film all around it, and on the dove it has, or on top of the dove, it has my grandpa's name. So right here, it has my grandpa's name, and the roll of film starts right here. And then it has his date when he was born. I think somewhere right here. The date where he was born and the date when he passed away. So he passed away on December 2019. So like 2 years ago. So the dove is obviously for him, and the roll of film is he was, growing up, he was that guy that when there was a sweet, like a 15th party, whatever it was, he was that old guy that carried those really old school cameras like on his shoulder and just be recording literally everything. He'd be recording everything. So he loved to record everything. Every party, every event that he could record, he'd record it. And that's something he really enjoyed. So that's mainly why I got this piece, the dove, the roll of film, his date. I do plan on finishing like my whole sleeve eventually. I just, I'm planning on what to get, because I don't necessarily want to get anything. I want to get something that's going to mean something, And so far, like, I've gotten tattoos that have some type of meaning. The only thing is that I know for sure my next tattoo is going to be more dedicated towards my grandma, because I feel like I represented my grandpa really well with this dove, with a roll of film, his name, his date. I didn't get much for my grandma. I've only gotten her name and some roses in a small part of the area. So that's something I do plan on. My next tattoo is getting something bigger, like somewhere, wherever it is. Let me get it bigger, but I wanted to connect with what I got right now. But that's the plan for my future tattoos.
Okay, so other interests. Let's talk about your feel for cars.
Okay.
Yeah, so what do you have to say about that passion that you have for cars as an enthusiast?
So, my first car was actually a stick shift car. I didn't learn to drive in it. I learned to drive in my mom's car, but I knew, when I saved up for my car, I knew I wanted a stick shift car, and I knew I wanted an Acura. So my first car was like a 2000 through 2004 Acura RSX. It was a 6-speed. Oh man, I loved that car. It was so fun because it was a little junk car, but it had a modified exhaust, so I thought I was the shit. Oh my god, it was so funny because it didn't look nice, but I just loved that car. And yeah, it was a 2004 Acura RSX. I loved driving it. Eventually I knew I wanted a Honda Civic Si, I ended up getting a 2007 Honda Civic Si, a 6-speed manual. I really enjoyed the car. I added wheels to it. I added an exhaust system. I had a tuner to tune it. I just did like a little bass tune on it, and I was enjoying the car until one day my brother Fetty was taking it to work, and they had crashed. They had hit him on the back quarter panel. Like, I'm talking about like destroyed, like not destroyed, but like really, it messed up the door. It hit the wheel. It hit just the back quarter panel. So it was like all scratched and ugly. And at that time I was debating. I was like, should I just, whatever money I get from the insurance, should I pay to fix it, or should I just sell it and get something else? And when I was still debating, I ended up seeing this blue Honda Civic Si again, and I was like, dude, this one is so nice. And I'm like, you know what? If I can sell this car, I'll sell it and I'll go for this one. If there's time, if I get perfect timing of selling this car and this car is still available, I'm gonna do it. So I remember it was Thanksgiving. Some guy wants to come see the car, and I'm like, okay, yeah, like, come see it. He wants to test drive it. He test drives it. We're all there. He's looking at the car, blah blah blah. And then he actually makes me an offer. I think I had it for $3,500. He offers me like 31 or something like that, 3,100. I was like, let's do it. I'm trying to get rid of this car. So I sell that car. This guy takes it home, whatever, blah blah blah. No problem there. That's when I end up. This is on the OfferUp app, so I end up messaging the other guy about the blue Honda Civic that I like. A blue 2008 Honda Civic Si. I'm talking about, like, it has racing seats, it has a roll cage, it has wheels. It's just really cosmetically done nice. It has the Japanese back tail lights, like, converted. Not over here, more from Japan. So it's really nice. Ooh, so nice. I'm like, So, and this guy has the add up. He has like all these modifications done to it, which I know the modifications done. I'm like, okay, so it has a new clutch, which is good. For these cars, having a new clutch is really good because it saves you a lot of money. Has a new clutch. It has all these things. And he has it up for $8,500, and he's either wants to sell it for $8,500 or trade it for a Harley Davidson. And at the time I only had 6,000, so I'm just like, you know what, I'm gonna go check it out. If I like it, I'll make him an offer. If he takes it, if he doesn't, he doesn't. Yeah, I test drive it. Test drove fine. It even has working AC. And for these cars, these Honda Civics, their AC system came out pretty bad, so it had a working AC, and it still works today, which I'm happy about. But I go there, I test drive it. I'm looking at the car, blah blah blah, and moment of truth comes in where I have to make an offer, and I was like, you know what, man, I only got 6,000. So I know you had to add up for more, but if you take it, we can make a deal. If not, it's cool. And he's just thinking about it. He's like, damn, 6,000. He's like, all right, man, I'll take it. And I was like, say less. I was like, I think the next day, or the next day or the day after, I was gonna go pick it up. And I remember him texting me overnight, and he's just like, yeah, it has a surround system too, right? So he's like, hey man, like, you only want to give me 6,000, can I at least take the surround system out, since you're giving me less, blah blah. And I had just put it in. And in my head, I'm like, what is this? Like, I thought we had a deal, So me trying to haggle a little bit, I'm just like, I just text him. I'm like, honestly, bro, like, we had it for 6,000. You said it was a deal. If you don't feel comfortable with 6,000, like, that's fine. You could wait for someone else, or you could, if you want to lower the price from 6,000, then so you can lower it and we can make a deal. I think I kind of bugged him a little bit, but I'm trying to buy the car, whatever. This is like, nah, man, like, you know what? It's cool. I'll leave it on. The next night, or the 2 days or 3 days after that, I come to pick up the car, and I pick up the car and it's cool, but the surround system is not working. I'm like, he was like, well, it was working. Like, I don't know what's going on, blah blah blah. And I'm like, what the heck? Why isn't it working? Me being like, not thinking that what he probably did. Like, I'm just like, oh, maybe it's just not, like, something's just wrong. But in the back of my head, I can kind of put pieces together that he probably had taken out the surround system, try to put it back in, and just didn't connect it properly. But I get home, the car drives fine, whatever, it's cool. The next, I think by that weekend, one of my brothers who has experience with putting surround systems in a car, I tell him, I'm like, hey bro, like, can you check out my surround system? He's like, yeah, blah blah blah. And he just like has to move a couple wires somewhere around the amplifier and the bass speaker, and it starts working like a charm. It was no problem. But yeah, I mean, that was my experiences with the car. It hasn't given me any problems since I bought it, which I'm really thankful for. I don't abuse the car either, so that's on my part that I drive it good. But yeah, it's getting that car, like, it does draw its attention to a certain extent. That every now and then you get a couple of people who like just want to race you. They see a car like that and they think it's super fast or whatever, even though my car is like one of the slowest cars out there. But I love how cosmetically done it is. And even at car meets, I get a couple of people who acknowledge the car, and they start talking to me about their car, and they start complimenting me, and it's cool. I enjoy it. You meet a lot of cool people at car meets. Obviously you just got to be safe around the car meets too, because every now and then you have your dummies who like want to burn out or start drifting, blah blah blah, and just cause the wrong attention and ruins it for everyone else. So yeah, I didn't attend as many car meets as I wanted to, but I'm never opposed to them. I still have my car. It's not like I'm not gonna attend them anymore. I'm still part of it. It's just I've taken other responsibilities, other priorities, and stuff like that. I haven't really prioritized that in my daily lifestyle. So yeah, just my other priorities are what more important right now.
Nice. Okay, another interest you mentioned earlier. So, bowling.
Oof.
Yeah.
I love bowling.
So, what's your experience like so far for bowling?
It's fun. Bowling is such a fun game, playing with a group of friends. Whether even if you suck, my best game I scored 212. I got 7 strikes. That was the best game I've ever had. Usually I'm getting 100, 120, 140. It's not even good. But it's such a fun game that you can spend with a group of friends. That's you can't go wrong with bowling. You can't. And not only that, it's there was this bowling alley 15 minutes away from my house that on Wednesdays and Thursdays they had really good specials. I'm talking about bowling with your shoes with 3 games for $12. Really good specials. And on top of that, they had food, a slice of pizza for 75 cents. French fries were 75 cents. I forgot what else. A hamburger was $1 or something. I forgot what else, but they had crazy good specials. So it made it even better when going, But yeah, I love bowling. Every now and then, before quarantine, some of my group of friends, we'd go and play. We'd get 2 lanes. We'd have 4-on-4, 5-on-5. Loser has to buy drinks, or loser has to pay for the next game, or something like that. Just competitions like that, friendly competitions. And the thing with that group of friends is there wasn't someone who was just crazy good. We were all just decent and having fun most of the time. But yeah, you can never go wrong with bowling. If you dislike bowling, you're to each their own. But I love bowling. It's so fun.
You got the spin, the technique, and everything, and like a perfect size ball for you, or what? Like weight?
It's funny. I have my girlfriend I had years ago. She knew I loved bowling, so on my birthday she had bought me a bowling ball, and it's super nice, like a teal bowling ball. But I had never gone to the store for them to screw in the holes for when you put it in the ball. So right now it's just the ball is still there. You know, there's no holes in it, which sucks. But I do like it. People say I bowl weird. So when I bowl, I don't like I don't necessarily throw the ball from the start. I kind of like I'll launch it. But not like throw it far. Like I kind of launch it and then it starts spinning and then it curves in, you know?
Yeah.
And I guess that's weird according to some people, but that's how I've always been accustomed to doing it. That's there. Occasionally I can make it spin the other way. You know how normally you make it spin to the right. You know, sometimes I can make it spin to the left, but it's hard. That way is harder.
Yeah. Let's see. Well, wait.
I don't like going too heavy with the ball. I'll do, I want to say 10 or 12 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got like over 200 with that, so.
Yeah, that
says something.
It was crazy when I got it. It was like 7 strikes in a row, and I don't know what was going on. I've never done anything like that. I was just feeling it, I guess.
All right, and the other thing I wanted to talk about, one of your interests, so working out. That is a big one. Let's talk about your journey so far.
Sheesh. Okay. So working out, inspired by my ex-girlfriend that broke my heart. Yeah, working out is just. I did get into it when I was when I got my heart broken. My brother was there to help me, motivate me. At first it was just strictly just losing weight, you know, nothing specific on any goals, any weight I want to, like any weight I'm trying to push, like bench or press or deadlift or squat. It wasn't anything specific like that. It was more just specifically losing weight just so I can physically look better. But what I didn't know is that once you physically look better or start looking better, you emotionally grow and just build confidence within yourself, and just you're happier. And that's how it was when I first started working out. Just, you know, just trying to lose weight. And it sucks because I would constantly just look at the scale, and there's days where I'd weigh like 170, and then like next week I was like at 172, but I looked the same, you know, like I looked the same, but I felt stronger. Like it just didn't make sense. And that's not necessarily good, just keeping your eye on the scale, because you can like gain a few pounds, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you're gaining fat. You know, it can mean that you're actually gaining muscle. So I kept my eye on the scale, you know. By the end of my relationship, I was actually like 211 pounds. I was 211 pounds, and I was motivated to lose weight. My brother motivated me to lose weight and start going to the gym. Eventually, like I had gone down to like 160 pounds. I think the lowest was like I hit 157, but I didn't last long. So I hit 157, and then I went back up to like 160, and I was at 160 pounds for a good minute, while my lifts were increasing. My bench press and my squat, my deadlifts, they were increasing. My weight stayed the same until I eventually started to take my lifts serious, as in like I started doing like I had a coach, and you know, I did a powerlifting program that would boost my personal records, my PRs for benching, squat, deadlifting. And while I was on a powerlifting program, I was also bulking. So I was also bulking. I went up to I bulked by the end of it was a 16-week program. I bulked all the way to like 186 pounds. So I bulked up a lot, you know. My lifts did improve to a certain extent. Like my deadlift PR was a 370. My squat PR was a 325. I tried to hit 350 on squats, but I failed. I failed that lift. But it was 325. And my bench press personal record was at 265 when all said and done. It was 265, although I've lifted 285 before that. I kind of lost strength in my chest. And it was kind of I lost a bit on motivation there, but I kept it going. And then I started cutting. And I cut to 180, which I am now. But I've been noticing that I've gained muscle because the other day I hit like 275 on the bench, which I didn't think I was gonna hit, but if it went up smoothly and with no problems at all, and which I was happy about because I lost like 6-7 pounds, but I was getting stronger, you know. Mm-hmm. One thing I do like to do is like I try to lift as safe as I can, because it's you mess up something when lifting, like it really dents your whole progress. So when I was on the powerlifting program, I'm gonna say an example. When I was on the powerlifting program, I went to go play basketball, and I had twisted my ankle so bad. Like I'm talking about, like the next day it was super swollen. I know I had sprained it, and the thing is, when you're on a program, like you're lifting like 4 or 5 days a week, and you have to stick to the program, or else like you can't miss days. You know, you can't take a break on the program. So I had to fight through the pain. And this was like kind of towards the end of that powerlifting program. And towards the end of the program, you're obviously going to be lifting like at your heaviest, you know? Mm-hmm. So the thing that it affected was the fact that I had to squat, you know? So I had gotten a brace for my ankle, which did help. But by the end of my personal records of the powerlifting program, like I was doing a personal record while my ankle wasn't like fully healed, which is not ideal, and you shouldn't be doing that. But yeah, I try to do the most, like I try to lift I try to lift as safely as I can, because I mean, you just never know. So I have I have my belt, so when I squat I have my sleeves on my knees, because I mean, squatting puts stress on your knees, you know. So I have knee sleeves, I have wrist wraps, I have a lot of the stuff that you'd want to use to lift safely, you know. And although you can lift safely without them, I just like to take the precaution just to be safe for myself. I don't know. I've watched too many people get injured on TikTok and stuff like that, or YouTube videos and stuff like that, that I'm just like, I'm gonna live safely, and if I can move up in weight, then I'll gladly try to do it. That's why whenever I'm benching super heavy, my brother Fetty Wapo is right there, and I'm just like, all right, bro, you got me. Like, I just remind him, like, I try to tell him, like, all right, you got me. If you got me, then I'll be motivated to hit it. But whenever we're at like today, we went to the gym, and I was hitting chest, went all the way up to 275 pounds on the bench press. And I was just like, all right, I got this, and I told him, I was like, all right, you got me, and he's right there spotting me, and that's something that's really important, when going to the gym. You just got to live safely. And if you have someone to work out with, even better to live with someone. Yeah, I mean, like 2 days ago too, I was squatting 315 and I wanted to go for 2 reps, but the thing is, when you squat weight that is heavy and you don't normally squat, like, you get nervous, you start overthinking, you start getting anxious, you start doubting yourself. So yeah, I wanted to do 2 reps, and my brother was spotting me, Fetty was spotting me, and I told him, I was like, all right, bro, you got me? And he was spotting me, and I went for 1 rep. The 1 rep went up smoothly, or not as smooth, but it went up. And I stood there with 315 pounds on my back 2 days ago, and it was like 5 seconds, 10 seconds later, and I'm just standing there. I'm like, fuck this, I'm going back. I can't do it. I like psyched myself out. I re-racked the weight after I did 1 rep. I was like, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing this. But it's such a mental block when you start lifting, because introducing new weight into your lifts, heavier weight, it's you get nervous, you get scared, you get anxious, so many things go through your head that you don't know if you're going to be able to do it, but it's part of pushing yourself, and that's my main thing with lifting: try to lift as safely as you can. Just try to be safe. That's all it is for me. And of course, try to make progress. But I'm really happy with the progress I've made so far, like with all my lifts and how my physique has been going or progressing. Like, I'm really happy with it, and a lot of it has to do with the motivation that Fetty Waffle gives me. So I give a lot of thanks to him, because his knowledge is what helped me progress. Not only lifting, but also dieting. But yeah, he kind of coached me a lot with it.
Are you setting yourself up for like any specific goals? Because I noticed that you're almost at like 1,000 for those 3 max,
all the lifts.
Yeah, max lifts.
Not so much. I've seen that 1,000-pound list or whatever people say.
Yeah.
Not so much setting a goal up for that. But I am setting up goals to like just lifting heavier. And when I first started going to the gym, I remember I would be like, man, I want to be that guy lifting 2 plates, squatting 2 plates. I want to be that guy squatting 3 plates. I want to be that guy bench pressing 2 plates. I hardly saw people deadlifting at the gym, because it's Alley Fitness, not a lot of people deadlift at Alley Fitness. But I was always like, damn, like, I want to be lifting that heavy already. And it takes time and discipline for that to happen. And now today I am that guy lifting bench pressing 2 plates, bench pressing 275, squatting 315. And I'm proud of that, but there's more beyond that. You got to keep progressing, or at least I want to keep progressing. I'm not in the stage where I'm trying to maintain. I want to progress more. And there's a lot of different things you can do to progress your lifts. Powerlifting programs, start dieting, doing different types of workouts and stuff like that. But the progressing my lifts is not my only goal. My goal is, like, I'm more focused on how I physically look, because of the fact that I used to be so heavy, and like I used to be so self-conscious about my body, and I still am self-conscious up until this day. I just don't show the part of what I'm self-conscious about, So a lot of my body fat is within like my cheeks, or like my belly, and like my muffin top, you can say. That's a lot of where my body fat lies, but I don't necessarily show that often, And that's what keeps me still self-conscious until this day. So that's why like I do have goals on progressing how I look physically. And actually just started last week. I started fasting, which work since I started work, I start I'm up by like 6 something in the morning, and I get out of work like at 2 or 3. So I just started fasting. I don't eat until after work. I go right after work. I'll get like a snack, and I've been getting the 4-piece chicken nuggets, which are, when you're dieting, the chicken nuggets 6-piece isn't necessarily bad for your diet. But I'll get like a 4-piece chicken nuggets. I'll get like an iced coffee just to give me that energy so I stay awake. And yeah, after work, go home, pick up Fetty, and we go straight to the gym. And that's basically what I've started lately when it comes to helping my physical growth. But yes, I like future goals for my lifts. I do want to, I want to bench press 315 already, but 315, man, that's another level. That's 3 plates on the side. Bench pressing 315 and weighing like 180 pounds. Like Betty Wapple, he bench pressed 315 pounds when he weighed 160 or honestly, I think it was 155 around there. And he has a really strong upper body. So for him, he has a really strong upper body.
Yeah.
I have a stronger lower body. So it's different, So when he bench pressed 315 pounds, I'm like, damn, ain't no way, boy, ain't no way. He's bench pressing 315 pounds out here, and he's weighing like a 155, bro. It's inspirational, bro. Yeah, man, I want to bench press 315 too, but I also like, I'm squatting my I haven't been deadlifting much, but I do have plans to go back to deadlift soon. Because deadlifting, I do a mixture of sumo and conventional, like in between. But deadlifting, believe it or not, it helps when it comes to lifting. Oh snap! Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hold on. My monitor turned off. Give me 1 second.
It's okay.
Okay, there you go. My monitor's back. It's because my cat freaked out. He moved something with the cables. But what was I saying? I lost my train of thought.
Like deadlifting.
My deadlifting, yes. Yeah, I do plan on going back to deadlifts soon. And deadlifts, yeah. If I could recommend doing a certain workout, it would be deadlifting to progress your lifts. Obviously safely, but deadlifts do help a lot. And I actually just started doing cardio. Not so much, not a crazy amount of cardio, but on my rest day, because I rest once this week, so on my rest day I decided to do cardio and hit abs, which is something I've been lacking because I don't do cardio and I don't do abs. So I was like, you know what, on my rest day I'm gonna focus on doing cardio and doing abs. And it's funny because just as Ian's in here, on my rest day, she was the only one streaming that day when I went to go do cardio. I'm like, man, like I hate cardio. I hate running. I run for a purpose, If I'm gonna run, I'm gonna be playing basketball. I'm gonna be playing a sport. But at LA Fitness, like it was like 12-11 in the morning. No one's playing pickups at that time at LA Fitness. So you know what? I'm just gonna run. I'm just gonna go. Actually, I was on the elliptical, and I was like, I need to watch someone while I do my cardio. So Ian was online, I'm like, all right, Ian, show me something. I'm gonna be doing cardio, take my mind off of this. And she's playing Valorant. She's like, I got you. And she's just talking to me back and forth. While I literally took my mind off things. As I'm doing the elliptical, I'm just watching her play. I think she's using Razor Reina. I'm watching her play Razor Reina, and she's doing her thing, and I'm just like, I'm also typing in chat, talking to her, trying to get my mind off things too. But yeah, at the end I did like 40 minutes of cardio, and I told her, I was like, dude, like, thanks for the stream. This helped motivate me to go longer. But yeah, I that's something I need to implement into my my workout schedule is cardio. And the reason I implemented fasting is to help with dieting, because let me tell you, I love cereal. I love cereal. I love oatmeal. I love the morning food. The morning food is like the best meal of my day. Like, I'll enjoy it. But it's also like the worst, because when it comes to like the morning meal, like I sometimes I take it a little too far, and I'll eat a little too much, and that's not necessarily good for my my progress. So starting this new job, it did help me with starting to fast. So hopefully, I'm hoping I make good progress. Never know, just gotta keep going, gotta stay on track, stay motivated. But you gotta stay happy too. That's why yesterday I got some In-N-Out. I got some the habit. I like to be happy too. I'm not gonna just be strict with my dieting 24/7.
Yeah,
I want to eat something I actually enjoy. But overall, I want to say that's been the progress so far. And those are the goals, just going to try lifting heavier slowly but surely, physically grow. Hopefully it helps me grow emotionally, confidently. But when it comes to lifting too, I'm always open to whenever someone has a question of like any issues they have lifting, and if I can help with my experience what I know, like, I'm always open to helping others. So yeah, that's why I always tell, or on Instagram, if you guys want to watch me stream my workouts, blah blah blah, or if you have any questions, stop by, and I'm always there to help. If you have any type of question on what I think I can help you on, I'm always willing to help. Although lately I haven't been streaming my workouts because I've been going to LA Fitness. Yeah, I've been going to LA Fitness, and yeah, I'm not gonna stream my LA Fitness workout. That's too just weird. But
gotcha.
If I know I'm gonna start working out again in my own setup eventually, and start streaming my workouts. But yeah, I'm always, I want to be that guy that when people because although I had Fetty to help me work out, we didn't necessarily have that person that knew what to do, what to eat, what to work on, So I like trying to be that guy that if someone has a question about what they should do or what they think they should do, I'll try to help if I can. So I'm trying to be that guy. Yeah, that's pretty much it with my
workout.
My workout.
All right, doing good so far. Do you need a little break or anything?
I'm Gucci. Why, do you need a break?
No, I'm good right now. We're gonna switch gears right here with the topics. Okay, so next topic, we are gonna get into relationships, heartbreak, and mental health. So basically, start from whatever you consider as your first relationship, and you could just tell us the story, the experience.
Okay. I got you. So, I want to say my first real relationship was after high school. I was with this girl. She was actually my middle school friend, and I was her middle school crush. And the reason I know this is because she made it obvious that in middle school she was into me, but we never dated or anything in middle school. But after high school, when I was already working, I was at Cal State Northridge. I started talking to her on Instagram again. We went out a couple times, blah, blah, blah. And, soon enough, she became my girlfriend. And it was good. It was really good. Like, I enjoyed what we had. We were together for, I want to say it was going to be 2 years. We had a few bumps on the road. Over time of being in the relationship, couples eat good, so sooner or later I started gaining weight. She didn't really gain that much weight. She had a really good metabolism. I started gaining weight, and eventually I was like around 190 to like 200 pounds and stuff like that in a relationship. And we were good. We were in love, like with that lovey-dovey stage. We do everything together. Spend like literally almost 24/7 together. Like every other day, we'd hang out and go out to eat or like just chill and just basically be around each other. And man, I thought I had it good. Eventually we went on a break. It's kind of hard to remember the reasoning why, but I did want to go on a break. I wasn't for the break, but she needed space, and I gave her space. During this time when she needed space, we had a class together at a community college. So we had a class together, right? But we also, during that time when we had a class together, we were taking a break. She was also working at a middle school. So, while she didn't drive, so while her and I were on break, we would still be in class together and see each other. Now, the thing with all this going on is, while her and I were on break, she started building some type of friendship with one of her coworkers. And the reason I know that is because eventually she started driving his car to school, to class, and she would also drive it to work. And eventually, like because every now and then during the break, she'd want to start talking to me more and she'd want to get close to me again, but then she'd distance herself. So when she would like get close to me, she would like give me like reasons because she knew that I knew that she was driving her coworker's car, and she would like give me these reasons like, oh, like he can't keep his car parked at his house because of this and that, and he would lend her the car for that reason, blah blah blah. And she had that car for like a week or two. So I guess sooner or later, the relationship or friendship between her and her coworker, where it was getting stronger and stronger. Eventually, her and I didn't get back together from the break. I want to say a month or two. Like she started, while I was like already in the depressed, sad state of the fact that, my girlfriend doesn't want to be with me anymore, blah, blah, blah. I'm at home crying because this was like when I was actually like my first love. So this was the first person that ever broke my heart, So it hits you hard, when you first get heartbroken, it hits you hard. So I was crying. I'd cry every other day. Think about her often and hear like I would often hear that or see like on social media, because I still had her on social media, so she'd be going out clubbing, doing her own thing, and I'm just like, damn, Like, damn, like I'm out here, really sad when you're like out here doing your own thing, And she was a bit petty about things, at this time I was still working at Domino's. So one day, I get a call from one of my coworkers, and she's like, hey, are you not with this girl anymore? Like, she says her name, and I'm like, no. She's like, because she just walked in with another guy. I'm like, here we go.
Hey, welcome here.
Here we go. You're kidding. You're kidding. Walked in with
sorry.
another guy.
There's also a raid.
Google raid. Guess I get to take a chat.
He plays some games and he goes
Google.
so go follow him for
Thank you so much for the raid. What's up? Hi, MJ. Welcome to the stream. Hi, Clint Huz. Thanks for being a part of the Google raid. Guys, it was, well, technically today is Boo's birthday, right? Sunday, yeah? Dude, this man, he was drinking. He was drinking like crazy. Thank you for the follow, Clint Huz.
I get to eat my Jollibees. Should I proceed?
Yeah. So we're talking about your relationship experience, so go for it.
So, she walks in with this guy. I don't know who he is. My coworker is telling me like, oh yeah, she just walked in with some guy, ordered some food, blah blah blah. And it's well, now that I think about it, it's funny. But at the time, you wouldn't think it's funny. But as soon as I hear that, like, she walked in with some guy, I'm like, what? Like, I immediately like already start crying. Like, I'm already crying. My heart's bumping super fast just because of how like sad and depressed I am. And I just tell her, like, I tell my coworker, all right, thanks for letting me know. And my cousin and my brother are both there. And obviously they're upset because they don't want to see how sad I am, So they're just trying to comfort me, blah, blah, blah. And that's when Fetty Wapo comes in. And that's when he first tells me, like, when he saw, like, how sad and crying I was, how much I was crying. He tells me, he's like, all right, bro, you know what? First thing next week, we're going to start going to the gym. All these girls that are breaking your heart, they're going to regret it. They're going to regret it, and they're going to want you back. And me just not thinking, right? No, she's not going to want me back. No, she's not going to want me back, blah, blah, blah. And over the months of, like, while I start working out with my brother, I'm still sad about the whole family thing. I'm still trying to get my ex back. I'm still thinking, what should I do? What can I do? What should have I done in order to make things different, that whole time, like, I was like getting desperate, I call her mom. I ask her, like I start asking her questions, like, what can I do? I really want her back, this and that. Like, desperation mode sets in around this time, and the more I see how happier she is without me, the more I want her back, and over that course of time, I end up hearing that she moves in with him, and then eventually I end up hearing that and a couple months in, she moves in with them. She ends up pregnant by her coworker, and I was like, what? Like, I was with this girl for 2 years. I was supposedly to her, I was like the love of her life and all this stuff. And it just, like, it really makes you think, like, dude, like, what is going on? Like, you're literally in love. Next thing you know, a couple months later, she's pregnant by someone else. I was mind blown. But motivates me even more to go to the gym, to start changing my ways, to start going back to school, because I did take a year off. I took a year off college, and I took a year off literally while I was with this girl. So when we had broken up, I wasn't at Northridge, but that motivated me to go back. I eventually was motivated to go back and finish, because when you're motivated to change things about yourself in a vulnerable state of mind, you'll do things to you'll be motivated if you have the right support. And my brother was my support around that time. So I was getting ready to talk to a counselor to get my classes again. I kept working out. I was disciplined with my dieting. I just kept doing my thing. Eventually, my ex hits me up. And from time to time, before she hits me up on a serious note, from time to time, while she was with this guy, she would tell me how he was eventually, like after a while of getting to know him, she would tell me how he was like while she was still with him, how he was like mentally abusive, and I think even like physically abusive up to a certain extent while she was living with him. But from time to time, she would like message me like with a random number or through an email or something. She would send me a message, but it wasn't like from every other day. It was like between months where I would get a random message from her. But eventually when she did break up with him, she had moved back. But when she broke up with him, she was still pregnant, and that's when she had messaged me. She messaged me that she wanted to see me, blah blah blah, and eventually kind of made it known that she wanted something serious with me. But when she wanted something serious with me, this was around the time when I was barely getting over the fact that she had broke my heart. And that's when I got into a new relationship. And this new girl that I had I was in a relationship with, it was good. It was really good. Didn't really have any problems with her. Didn't argue much with her, which I did enjoy. But during this time, it was like a year in with my relationship, and I was starting to get overwhelmed because of midterms, family problems, and stuff like that. Like, when I get overwhelmed, like I try to run away, and I was getting overwhelmed with everything that was going on, and I had told her like that I need a break, I need space. And she didn't want space because she was just like, couples never come back from a break, that just never happens, blah blah blah. And I told her, I was like, you know what, like it's just something I need right now, So she starts doing her own thing. A month later, I'm like still talking to her every now and then. A month later, when I am ready to go back into the relationship, she didn't want to. She didn't want to specifically. She was just like, you weren't there when I was crying for you, blah blah blah. Like, you just don't get it. You weren't there, and that's when I was like, desperation mode hit again, and I was trying to do everything I could to get her back, because I still wanted to be in a relationship with her. And she eventually, while she was doing her own thing and she didn't want anything, she didn't want me, she was talking to this guy. And I don't know who that guy was. So she was talking to this guy, and while she was kind of stringing me along, because when she told me, like, she had told me that she didn't want a relationship anymore, I gave her space. I was like, you know what, I understand, you do you, it's cool. I wouldn't, but I was heartbroken, I was sad and stuff, but I'm not the guy to bug, I'm not that guy that's going to bug you 24/7. So when I told her, like, it's fine, maybe one day in the future you and I can go catch a boba or something, but I understand. It kind of hit her like, oh, like, like this guy's not chasing after me or something like that, you know, because I started noticing that every other 2-3 days she would send me a text like, hey, like, what are you doing, what are you up to? And it was a reoccurring every other 3 days, you know. Every now and then it'd be like a week in between, but she was like constantly like texting me. And eventually we started seeing each other again, but we weren't together. We were kind of just seeing each other, hanging around each other, being around each other, but we weren't necessarily together. And we were seeing each other for like a couple months. And then July 4th was coming. And I remember too, because she told me she had won tickets to a hotel in on the radio to a stay in Vegas. She won tickets. I was kind of hoping like, oh cool, like, you know, she's gonna ask me like, let's go to Vegas for 4th of July. The question didn't come. 4th of July came. She was already in Vegas with her sister and I don't know who. Because I had stopped talking to her like before Vegas. 4th of July came, whatever. I spent 4th of July with my family. She went to Vegas, did her own thing. I have her on social media. Months go by where, you know, she's not posting anything. And I'm just like we haven't talked, you know, there's no communication between us, and I'm like, what the heck happened? One day, like, I randomly see a text. I randomly see a post. Her post. She posts something, and it's like her with like a baby bump, and it's like coming August 2020, something like that. So I'm in my head doing over here like doing math in my head. I'm like, the baby's due around this time. Take away 9 months. So I'm like, I figure out that, you know, she got pregnant literally like I want to say the month after 4th of July weekend. And sure enough, it was with the same guy that she was talking to that was there for her. It was the same guy, that was the baby daddy. And when I found out that she was pregnant, I was, at that point in my life, I was still sad about our whole breakup, but I wasn't in a depressed state. But when I found out she was pregnant, I was like, whoa, what are the chances? You know, my 2 exes both end up pregnant after we break up by some guy. You know, it's super crazy, but yeah, I haven't talked to her ever since then, and ever since then I haven't been in a relationship. Yeah, I go out on dates, you know, cool, meeting others, but no relationship. It's not that I'm opposed to it, it's just I kind of already been through that. So it's like right now I've been focusing just like work, going back to school soon. This whole streaming thing is a new thing that, you know, I've always been into streaming. You know, I've always been that video game guy. So it's just like I've been, you know, trying to make clips, you know, of my content, trying to show people my workout content and stuff like that. Just kind of grow, you know, just trying to grow right now, and just do my own thing. But, you know, if a relationship comes, because you don't know what you're going to feel when you go out with someone, you know?
Yeah.
So if there's someone I go out with and makes me feel some type of way, then that's how I feel, and that's what it is. That's what it's going to be, you know? But yeah, my relationship experiences, you know,
there you go.
Not the best, but that's not so much of a great experience, but they help me build who I am today in a way. Because of their actions, you know, I am who I am today. Although it doesn't change the fact that I'm still going to be that genuine, sweet, open guy that they once knew. Just you can't let it change you. That's what it is, you know. Cannot let it change you. And I'm glad it didn't change me like that.
So Since you've been through that, what personal relationship advice would you give to others?
Don't overthink. Overthinking is your enemy, you know? Because while you start thinking of what you could have done, what you should have done, you shouldn't really be doing that because you can't control the past, you know? You should be thinking about what you can control, about what you can change. So I would say to not overthink so much on your relationship and try to do what you can control. You know, you can't control it.
Nice. And last thing about this topic. So, what type do you go for in women?
I don't have one.
Mm-hmm.
There's, for some reason, most of the time I've always end up dating a Latina, but like I don't really have a type on, you know, I like a blonde woman, blah blah blah. Like no, it's, you know, it's whoever catches my attention will get my attention, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no type for me.
All right, moving on. So, as of now, what are all your goals and aspirations in life? I know you've already mentioned some, but you can just make it clear.
So, a few of my goals, I have short term. I want to get started on the credential program. I want to pass the CBES exam, which is what I need to work for at a USC. Short term. I think those would be some of my short-term goals. Long term or overall goals, I want to say, like, you know, I want to keep lifting, keep progressing physically, emotionally with my workouts. You know, I want to be a teacher, so that's part of you know, applying for the credential program. So I want to be a teacher eventually. You know, I do want to proceed creating clips on Twitch, you know, editing all these clips. Like, I don't know, I get proud of how I'm growing with my channel, which is thanks to a lot of the friends like that support me, you know, especially, well, you're one of them, you know, just a lot of people, Yumi, my brother, and my friend group around me, and just new people I'm meeting like Linda, Ian, which is basically through you, you know, I'm meeting a lot of new people through you that are super chill. And that's helping me expand, you know. Sleeping, I was actually playing with Sleeping the other day. Yeah, a lot of cool people that I've met through you, and I'm glad I'm expanding. But yeah, I do want to expand my Twitch channel. That would be or grow, I mean, that would be one of the goals. And another goal is, like, I want to live like in a nicer area. So eventually, you know, when I start teaching and stuff like that, I want to move to a nicer area. And I do want to get back into investing into crypto, but investing when I'm more knowledgeable about like, what is it called, like charting and, you know, stuff like that, you know, knowing how to invest and stuff like that. So I want to become more knowledgeable in that for sure. That would be one of the goals for sure. And as I would say, those would be the main goals right now. Just, you know, my workouts, my work, investing, moving, growing my Twitch channel, and meeting new people. Like, there's days where I wake up and I'm just like, dude, I'm so glad I met some people. Like, I'm so glad I met you, because you guys, like, I don't know, Yumi. It's just, dude, there's some cool ass people out there, and you just never know what to expect, you know?
Exactly. Very true.
Yeah.
All right. So the next topic is, what traveling have you done already, and where do you want to travel to in the future?
So the only traveling I have done, I've been to Mexico like twice. I laugh because my mom doesn't want me to travel to Mexico that much because, you know, she tells me, you know, a guy like you, they're gonna rob you and kidnap you over there because you're a white boy with colored eyes and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, she doesn't want me traveling to Mexico because of that, because she fears that will happen. But what traveling do I want to do? If I could, I would love to do a lot of traveling. You know, I want to go to New York. I want to go. Seattle looks cool. Just different places. I don't necessarily have like a place in mind, but I know like I'd want to go to Rome and stuff like that. You know, just out there. But
Nice.
although I'm afraid of planes.
Oh.
Flight.
Okay.
I'm afraid of flight, but you know, it's not a big deal. But
Wait, did you drive to Mexico or did you fly?
so we flew to Mexico one time. Second time, we drove
Okay.
to Mexico. Yeah, it was. I don't recommend driving.
Okay.
Take a shot. You.
Moving on to social media. You touched on it a little bit.
Mhm.
Aside from Twitch, what are you currently active in? Like, what do you use?
I am mostly active on Instagram. Honestly, Instagram is the place I'm active the most.
Mm-hmm.
I'm constantly posting, like when I edit a clip, when I'm working out, or something that just catches my attention. I'm constantly posting. I have Snapchat too, but I post on Snapchat once every couple months. It's, you know, Snapchat is just somewhere like I talk to some other friends that I know. And actually I have a Twitter too that I just got, I think like a month or two ago. I got a Twitter and I'm pretty active on that. But yeah, it's just the main Snapchat, Twitter, Facebook not so much. I have my Facebook on, but I don't even have the app anymore. I don't go on it. I don't go on Facebook, but Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok. TikTok is where I post a lot of my clips actually. But yeah, Snapchat, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. That's my main social media, and Twitch. Of course.
Nice. And now to talk about Twitch. How did you get into Twitch, and what made you decide to start streaming?
How did I get into Twitch? So I used to stream like my PS4 gameplay, not even that much. You know, I'd stream every now and then just because I always wanted to stream. And you know, certain games I've become pretty like good at. So like Call of Duty, growing up, obviously Call of Duty was a big game. Like, you know, I was becoming really good. I was starting since like Call of Duty 4, you know, in middle school. This was years ago. I started playing that game. So over the years, you know, I kept getting better and better and better. And but I didn't necessarily start streaming until the Fortnite era. That's when I started streaming some of my gameplay. And I was actually pretty good at Fortnite. It's funny, not at first, but eventually after playing for so long, you know, I was good at it. But then PC came in. You know, all my friends were getting PCs. You know, everybody was saying it's the move. And eventually I hopped on board. I got my PC. I got my PC. It was Black Friday last year. There you go. So it's literally about to be a year ago. Black Friday. Got my PC. I wanted to, because I wanted to start streaming. Now, I not only wanted to play with my friends, but I wanted to start streaming too. But where I had my setup was so bad that like I couldn't properly play because I didn't have enough space to play, you know? So eventually I ended up getting a better desk and stuff like that. And I didn't start taking streaming seriously until I think it's going to be like 2 or 3 months. You know, I started streaming. My Valorant was mostly Valorant gameplay. Valorant and Rocket League. And you know, it was mainly just support, like through my friends. They would watch me when they weren't doing anything and stuff like that. And every now and then, like I'd get someone new come in. I'd get someone new come in and talk to me and stuff like that. And my brother Vetti, he would always pitch me ideas. He's like, dude, like, you know, you should start editing clips. You should start rating people, you know, just to grow and be more out there. And I'm like, you're right. I start it was actually I want to say a month ago or weeks ago. That's when I started like rating different people. Whenever my friends would watch me, I was like, hey guys, let's go rate someone, you know, let's go show some love, this and that. Yeah, we would every other day I was rating someone, or once a week I was rating someone. And that's when I found you. And it's funny because usually I try to find something like an interesting topic that when someone's streaming. And when you were streaming, you know, you had put like, oh, let's be friends, you know, new friends and stuff like that as your title. And I was like, okay, let's watch Wilson, you know. And I remember you were playing Valorant, and you know, you were super chill, like you're just gaming, chilling, talking to friends and just vibing, and you know, something someone chill would be doing, you know. And I tell my friends, I was like, all right, let's raid Wilson. And I raid you, and you're just like, Liitaboy, thanks for the raid, man. How was your stream? Blah 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 blah. And that's when the next day, I think or a few days after, I had told my brother, I was like, dude, I raided this guy named Wilson yesterday, blah blah blah. He gave me a shout out and stuff like that. And that's where the shout out thing that you started doing, I was like, dude, that's such a good idea, you know, shout people out when they come in, you know, show some love, this and that. I'm like, I gotta do that, I gotta do it. So that's when I implemented the shout out thing because of you. I was like, dude, Wilson inspired me to do the shout out. Yeah, now, you know, I have people or my mods shouting people out on the stream, and this is cool. But yeah, I mean, just rating other people is something that my brother told me to do, that should help me grow, or will help me grow, I think, eventually, you know, meeting new friends, branching out and stuff like that. And I mean, so far it's been working, you know. I've met so many people just through rating and stuff like that you never know what could happen, you know. But that's pretty much what my streaming, how it's been, just rating people and just trying to grow in different ways that you can.
Yeah,
trying to grow, that's all it is.
All right, so as of now, what categories do you stream, and what is your schedule looking like?
Now, based on schedule, my stream is it's pretty much every day. I stream pretty much every day. I'll have like a day. I don't really plan on having a day off. So usually sometimes it comes on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, but most of the part I stream every day. And it's usually like after 6 p.m. or 5 p.m. I'll start streaming. Mainly because I have work in the morning and I'm out by like 2 or 3, and then I go straight to the gym after that, and I come home, I chill for a bit and then I hop on the stream. Um, so yeah, it's like every day after 6, I'll turn on my stream, and a lot of my content is usually based on Valorant because I've been progressing like really good. I'm not a mouse and keyboard player, so when I've been playing with friends and stuff like that, they see how I've been progressing, and even my brother, he tells me, he encourages me a lot. So he'll tell me like, "Dude, you're getting really good at Valorant." Like, obviously not immortal status, but he's like, "Dude, you're already plateau, blah blah blah. Like, you can do it, dude. You can go diamond, you can go immortal. You just gotta keep on grinding."
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of my stream is based on Valorant, but like I'm open-minded, so I love playing like all these different games, crab games, Phasmophobia, Rocket League, Scribble. I like streaming all the games like that.
Nice.
At least I have, and I can play with a group of friends.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do you have like IRLs that support you on Twitch or also stream, and who would you consider as your day ones?
Ooh, okay. So my IRLs that support my stream, I do have a decent amount. I have my friend, besides my brother, who's like my number one supporter, but I have my friend, I think maybe you've seen some of their names, like Kalani. He's in the chat right now. He always supports me. My other friend Daddy Chris, my other friend Papiawa, Hey Danny. I saw Danny followed your stream earlier. Who else supports my streams? Another friend called Steezy Dre. Yeah, I have a couple of supporters that I know IRL that have been my friends since like some have been high school friends, some I've knew for years. My other friend named David, Jolito, Decos, a good amount of people who've been supporting my stream and check me out when they can. But besides oh, sorry, I saw chat. This fool Lonnie's making me laugh. He's been waiting for this moment. Besides not IRL streamers, I have a couple of friends that still support me that I don't know IRL, like you, Linda, Ian. They'll stop by my stream and come say hi and stuff like that, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had to choose, like you said day ones, right?
Yeah.
Like my day ones, they're always gonna be my day ones. Ricky, my brother Fetty Wapo, always my day one. Always, he's always gonna be there. My friend David. The thing is that David and Fetty Wapo, since we've been playing since like COD 4 era, they've always been like my day ones, and we've been together for years. Besides that, like I still consider some other friends my day ones, like Lonnie, Joel. Well, his name is Joel. Chris, Papiawa, I said Danny, and Decos. Although not only are they my IRL supporters, but they're always been like my day ones. Like I've gotten so close to them over the pandemic. As soon as the pandemic hit, we would literally, like, all of us were at home, right? So we would literally jump on Discord and like be like talking, playing something, literally from like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 p.m. like till 1, 2. Like we were always together in a group. So I mainly consider them my day one since I've gotten really close to them over the pandemic. So it's been like over a year or two. Although I've known some of them since like high school, or like for like 6 to 8 years. I just got close to them like over the pandemic, and like I consider them my day ones because they're here for me.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, do you have a specific favorite Twitch memory or even a stream of yours?
Stream. I have a few. It doesn't happen often, where I'll get like new subs or like. So I'm a small streamer, so it doesn't, little things like that really hype me up. So it's like, one day I remember, I'm trying to remember his name. I don't know what stream he came from. I want to say, I think he might have came from your stream. I think he might have came from your stream, to be honest, because I can't remember his name right now. But he just came in. Oh wait, is Emma Marquez? Is that her? Him? Her? I think they're maybe one of your viewers. I think it was two of your viewers. They came into my stream, and this guy just donated like 5 subs, and I was like, what the heck? You just donated 5 subs? I was all hyped up. I was like, dude, that's freaking awesome. I was like, thank you. And then Emma, I remember Emma Marquez or Emma B something.
Yeah.
Donated
Emma.
2 subs. Donated 2 subs. And I was like, just kept the hype train going. Kept it going. And then not only that, my IRL friends started donating subs, and we ended up hitting like level 4 hype train. And I was just like, it was like one of the best days ever. I was like, dude, you guys are all like subbing, and you guys are all awesome. Besides that, like, I really cherish a lot of the raids that I get. I've gotten raided like by you, by Tracy, by Yumi, like by trying to remember. My brother raids me. Yeah, like a lot. I really love when someone is there just supporting my stream. But
it's nice.
Yeah, the raids is what really make me happy.
All right, so what would you say are the pros and cons of your Twitch experience so far?
Pros is meeting new people is something I've really been enjoying. Growing, because there's times where I get like a little anxious. The camera's on me, people are watching me and stuff like that, so I start getting like a little bit of anxiety. But it's good for me to be out of my comfort level to a certain extent. So pros is like, it's making me more comfortable with, just being on cam, being out there. Just meeting new people, playing new games, and just growing. I really want to grow in streaming. Like the thing is, I've always been playing video games my whole life. Why not stream it and do something out of it? If it takes off and whatever happens, but I'm surprised at the amount of like chill people that I've been meeting while streaming, like other streamers that are super chill. Like it's not something I thought of when streaming. I didn't think I'd be meeting some cool individuals on the way, and that's something that I consider a pro. Cons, some of the cons about the streaming is for one thing, well, I'm streaming on one monitor right now, so it's kind of hard for me to monitor chat or moderate chat. So like, for example, like the other day I was gonna play with Yumi, and like some random guy comes in and it's like he's talking to me, and I don't know where he says something like crazy, just like something you shouldn't say and something you shouldn't do. And I'm right here like I see what he wrote, and I'm right here trying to moderate the chat. And since I'm like pretty new to this, I'm like, how do I block this message? How do I delete this message? And I'm like panicking, and Yumi watches the comments, and she's like, messaging me. She's like, did you see what he wrote? I'm like, yes, I'm trying to delete it. So what I do is like, I block him. I block the guy, but the message is still there. I'm like, oh my God, how do I delete this? So I'm trying to figure out a way to delete this, and I can't delete the damn message. But I'm telling you, it's like, I'm trying to block it. Hold on. And yeah, just being a mod for yourself is a con when streaming, because if no one's on and you're the only one streaming, it's kind of hard to moderate your own chat, especially if you're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
What other con? trying to think.
Yeah, it's whatever you can think of. So
In a way, it's because working on it, like streaming on a schedule, to me is a con in a way where like I'll think like, dang, like if I say that I'm streaming at this time, say it's already 6 o'clock or it's going to be 6 o'clock soon, and I don't feel like streaming, like I don't really like to operate on a schedule like that. I like to be spontaneous, although I like to say like my streams are like daily, which they pretty much are. There's days where I'm obviously not streaming, and I consider like that a con in my own way. A lot of people work good on a schedule, but like that for streaming, I don't. I like to stream when I want, but a lot of the times it stays pretty much the same.
Yeah.
That would be one of my cons. In a way, so, like streaming, sometimes like the thing is, since I'm friendly, so if someone wants to play but like we can't, like say one day I'm feeling like playing ranked, right? Competitive Valorant, and I'm a certain rank, but the person that wants to play with me is too low ranked. Like I'll feel bad because while I'm this is what I want to focus on today, I'll feel bad, like damn, like I have to tell them like I not today, we'll play another day. And I don't know, I kind of that's something I feel bad about. But yeah. But any other cons, I think I want to say that would be it.
No worries. Okay. All right, so a good follow-up to what you mentioned about that person who said things that they shouldn't be saying. This question was specifically, have you had experience of hate and trolls, and how did you act upon that situation? So were there any other encounters?
On Valorant, you finish a game, you do good, but the other team is annoyed or might be annoyed of how you played, what you did. I plugged my streams in on the chat, and every now and then I'll get like not like so much like messages that I should be deleting because they're you shouldn't be saying, but they just like they'll come in and be like, nah, you suck, or this and that, just unsupportive people that just kind of dislike how you played or whatever. And I've had that a couple times to me on Valorant. But besides that, I haven't really had another occasion where someone comes in and they're being like saying things that they really shouldn't be saying, which I'm glad. I really don't want to have to go through that, because just some people can be a little too much on social media or on Twitch.
All right, so you mentioned that you wanted to grow your channel. What specific goals do you have in regards to Twitch?
Specific goals that I have in regards to Twitch?
Yeah, so you say grow, but like what does that look like for you?
Oh, okay. So for me, like growing, like I'd want to continue meeting a lot of different people. I'd want to build like also like that community of just people who have the same interest, and also like enjoy watching my content, like, and supporting me. Like, I want to grow in the way where like people are enjoying what they see when watching me, with whatever game I'm playing. If they're enjoying what they're watching, then I'm glad I'm putting a smile on someone's face, But yeah, I definitely want to keep meeting new people. I do want to keep editing like just clips of just my content that I think are either funny, really good, and that would be the only two. Like, because when you go through something funny when you're playing a game, it's so fun to look back at it and reminisce, But yeah, growing. I definitely want to keep making clips, posting on TikTok, having that community, that those supporters. Dude, like how you're making these Valorant tournaments, like that's inspirational right there. And that's something like I think that would be awesome for me to do in the future. When as I grow more and more. But yeah, I want to say that would be it.
Awesome goals, man. And so, based on your experience now, you've already mentioned like what you've done, but what specific advice would you give to people who are trying to grow in general or are just getting started with Twitch?
Something I'd like to give like similar advice to basically what my brother did, what my brother told me. Going out there, supporting new people, whether if you're rating them or just stopping by the stream. Meeting new people is what's going to help you grow and have different opportunities. Also, being more out there in the social media, Instagram, TikTok. You gotta, I say, try to keep up with the trends, because you just never know what can happen if you post something that you think is really cool, you think is really funny. Others might enjoy watching that content. They just haven't came across it because you haven't posted it. So yeah, I want to say just really try to be extrovert, in a way, just meeting new people and just creating new content. Also, streaming games that are not saturated will help you, because like, say for example, if you're streaming Valorant, like it's gonna be kind of hard because of the amount of people that play Valorant and stream Valorant already, But that's what I would
points.
That's what I would say.
All right. Have you had any meetups with any other streamers yet? And do you plan on doing so in the future?
No, I haven't met up with any other streamers. As long as if I were to get along with certain streamers and I think that are really cool, I would be open to meeting up with them. Yeah. But I have not met up with any other streamers. But yeah, if I really like a streamer and like I'm really cool with them, I'd be open to meeting up with them. Definitely.
Sweet. Okay, so this is about your username. How did you come up with that? Which is what I call you.
Okay. So my name is Carlos, right? But people like to make fun of the name and they'll say Carlita.
Okay.
Yeah, so growing up, like I was saying, playing Call of Duty in a team with my team of 4, which is me, my brother, and my 2 friends that I said earlier. One of my friends they used to call me like Carlita, so Carlita, and then eventually it just became to Lita, or Lita. So they, he used to just call me Lita this, and it kind of just stuck onto me. And when I had to create a new username, I'm just like, dude, Liitaboy. It just kind of stuck to me. And I didn't think of how much someone can butcher my name until I started meeting new people. But I don't make it a big deal when someone says it like a different way. It's not a big deal at all, It's just a username. No biggie.
Nice, okay. And then the last question in regards to Twitch. Take it however you want. Thoughts about Twitch crushes?
thoughts about Twitch crushes.
Crushes.
So,
yes.
What do you mean exactly?
Like, what are your thoughts about having a Twitch crush, and do you have one?
What are my thoughts about having a Twitch crush? I think like it could be cool, having, if someone's crushing on you, another Twitch streamer. I think that's cool. Definitely opens up an opportunity to meet someone new and get to know them on a closer basis if, you're willing to. Twitch crushes, but that's something I've never really thought of too much. A Twitch crush. If I had to think of a Twitch crush, Hafu. Do you know who Hafu is?
Yeah,
it's Hafu.
Big streamer. Okay.
Yeah. I remember I was watching Hafu during the Among Us era, and she's just like, she's super pretty and she's super nice. Like super friendly to literally everyone. Like she won't hurt a fly. And I would always tell my brother, I was like, dude, Hafu is my girlfriend. God, I always tell Fetty, I was like, Hafu is my girlfriend. Yeah, I love Hafu. She's super fun to watch. I would say she's my Twitch crush. But yeah, my opinion on that is like, it's cool, if someone's crushing on you, that's awesome. There's an opportunity there. But yeah.
Okay. Now moving on to Valorant. Just a little bit there. What is your favorite agent to play and least favorite to play?
Agent or agents?
We could do plural, sure. You can name more than one, if anything.
Because I love playing Jet and Reyna. I love playing them. If you learn to play them and you know how to use their mechanics, man, they're so good to use. I do like playing a Phoenix as well, but yeah, my main ones, if I could just choose two, it'd be Reyna and Jet. Now, my least favorite, I mean, to be honest, you could kind of say any Sentinel. I'm not a Sentinel fan. Like I like Killjoy, like Cypher. I think Viper is a Sentinel. Sage, like they're not too fun to use. They're just their util is a bit boring for me. But I'm always willing to play anyone. If I'm playing whatever I'm playing, I'm always willing to fail as a team. But yeah, those would be my favorites and unfavorites, or least favorite.
Okay, similar question though. Which agent do you think's the best in the game though, and the worst in the current meta?
I think the best agent, I think Jet.
Okay.
Jet, she's just like, there's a good, like, although her util is simple, it's also complex because of how you need to have good movement with her, and her, oh my god, if you know how to use her knives, you can be so deadly. All it takes is one knife to the head, and you get multiple. So I think she's the best. I want to say the best agent. The best agent. The worst agent? I think the worst agent might be Yoru.
Okay.
Or Phoenix. I don't know. Yoru or Phoenix. They it's kind of hard to use their util. Yeah, Yoru's, in my opinion, kind of like a selfish player. But then again, there's also other agents that are selfish. But yeah, I think Yoru or Phoenix might be the worst, to be honest. based on meta.
What do you think is the best gun in the game and the worst?
Best gun, I think. Best gun, I think, is Phantom. It's just. Although sometimes the 140 headshot sucks, the accuracy is definitely plays a bigger role when playing Valorant. So I want to say Phantom is going to be the better gun than Vandal. The worst gun. There's a couple. I want to say the worst gun. I think the worst gun's the Bucky. The Bucky's just such a trash gun now. The way they nerfed it is like you can still use it, but man, you need a clover with you to use that gun.
And now rank your maps, favorite to least.
Favorite to least. We could already put Fraction Breeze in the bottom, 100%. But favorite map would be, I want to say Bind, Ascent, Split, Icebox, Breeze, Fracture. Yeah.
Oh, where does Haven go?
Oh, Haven. Ooh, actually Haven's in the front.
Okay.
I completely forgot. Haven's all the way in the front. That's, since I play Jet, that's such a Jet map in my opinion. You could literally go in a lot of places that help. So yeah, Haven 100%.
Favorite skin bundle.
Favorite skin bundle is going to be the Reaver.
Reaver, okay.
Reaver or Sentinels of Light. Oof, man, dude, those guns are insane.
And lastly, in regards to Valorant, what was your experience like in the last tournament you played in?
My experience was good. I'm sad that I had to. I needed someone to sub in for me. I'm kind of sad about that. But it was good. I enjoyed it. The week, actually, 2 weekends before that, I had another Valorant tourney. With another streamer. It was just a friendly Valorant tourney as well, and it was just I think it was 2 or 3 teams. But it was a bit different than this one because this was a lot more teams, you know? This was a lot more teams. This tourney was just like 2, 3 or 4 hours in and it finished. But your tourney was like a lot longer, which actually makes for a pretty good tourney because a lot more teams are playing. You know, there's a winner and a loser's bracket. And yeah, there's more opportunity, which is cool. The commentating was awesome. And also, I think you made was it a video or a montage out of the tourney?
Yeah. The highlights.
Yeah. I thought the highlights were freaking awesome because I'm like, dude, I came out in the highlights. I was all hyped. But it was definitely a great experience. meeting new people. They were chill. And I think my team right now seems pretty chill as well. So meeting different. I like that this tournament now I'm meeting different people. A totally different team, which is pretty cool.
Good. Nice. Any other feedback from you? Like what you think I should do differently, or are you gonna just let this go and see?
What I think you should do differently. If I had to think of something that you can possibly do differently, it would maybe be look into how balanced the games are, like as in how balanced the team fights are. Because it is like so many different ranked players out there. So I think that plays a big role. Just balancing the teams is what plays a big role, because you never want that one team that completely destroys everyone because of like their ranking. And also that comes from them being honest what their rank truly is, But just having a really balanced tournament is a big deal. And I think I want to say last tournament it was pretty balanced, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty. Yeah, it was pretty balanced. Yeah. So.
And then some. I mean,
That's
some
amazing.
teams had subs at the last second, so
Mhm.
can't really control that.
That too. Like, although you can't control like the subs and all, it's
The commitment
it-
has to be there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. But it was good. No, it was good.
All right. Now we are coming down to the last few random questions. At this point, you guys in chat can definitely ask Charles anything you want. So if you guys have questions, shoot them and I'll let them know. Okay, first one. What are some of your greatest pet peeves?
Some of my greatest pet peeves. My greatest pet peeves. Damn. I think a pet peeve of mine is like a pet peeve like when meeting like someone that I know that they do that I
Yeah,
like,
just
dislike.
anything that like you dislike or what bothers you. Yeah.
I would. There's not much that bothers me, to be honest, but I would say when someone keeps bugging, like, or not bugging, or keeps like messaging me when I ask for space, or when I want to be alone and stuff like that. I would say a pet peeve is like, if someone wants to be alone, just give them their space. That would be a pet peeve of mine. But to be honest, I'm not too much of a person that like
That's pet
gets
peeves,
bugged. Yeah, that gets bugged by stuff. Like, I'm pretty chill, I think.
What are some of your greatest fears?
Oh, I'm afraid of heights. I am super afraid of heights. Theme parks scare the shit out of me. Like, scariest thing I got on was Goliath in Six Flags, and even then I was pooping myself. I remember, dude, even getting on a Ferris wheel, bro. I got on a Ferris wheel once. I was so stiff, like holding on. I was, oh my gosh, dude. Like, no, I won't do heights. We're not bungee jumping ever. If you need someone to bungee jump with you, Wilson, I'm not doing it. I'm telling you right now. But yes, I'm afraid of heights. Snakes. I think snakes. I remember one time I was with some cousins that we were like over there in like Riverside or San Bernardino area where there's a lot of cattle and stuff like that, and we were closing up we're closing up the gate where there's cows and stuff like that. Dude, I'm walking to the gate and I'm not looking at the floor. By the time I lock the gate, there's a snake right next to my shoe. And
shoot.
Let's just say, like, I ran for my life. I was like, what the freak? I'm like, what is this? I'm out. I ran. Heck no, I ran. And then spiders, man. I'm not like afraid, but if I see a black widow, I'm out. I'm out if I see a black widow. But I think those are my fears.
So sleeping, like he specifically asked, what's considered like too high for you to get scared?
Jumping off the second floor.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah, like I'm not like I don't like shiver and stuff like that, but I wouldn't jump off a second floor anything after that.
All right, what do you consider as one of your best traits or characteristics?
I think one of the best traits about me is the fact that I'm so open-minded. Being so open-minded is what opens a lot of opportunities to do many different things in your life, So whether you're doing something at work and supervisor wants you to do something differently, you agree to it, and you get to see how different your day is, or how different you're doing your job, or going to the gym, being different, being open-minded of different workouts that you can do that can also benefit you, will also help you gain experience in just doing different things at the gym, or playing different sports. You never know what sport you might like until you play it. Playing different games, streaming different games. Just I think yesterday we were playing, yesterday or 2 days ago, we were playing crab games, and I really enjoyed that game, and I figured, I was like, dude, this game would be super fun playing in a big group, so just the fact that you are so open-minded can help create a lot of opportunities, and I feel like that's such a plus as well for me.
Nice. Okay, so what would you consider as your greatest accomplishment in life and greatest failure/regret?
Greatest accomplishment in life would be graduating college. When I was in high school, I honestly, college was not ideal for me. I didn't, I wasn't that straight A student, so I didn't think I'd be able to graduate in college. Although my brother and my mom would tell me, like, no, you need to go to college, blah 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 blah, like, and I wasn't as motivated. I still ended up applying to Cal State Northridge, but even when I applied and I got in, like, I really didn't see myself graduating. I don't know, it's just the confidence still wasn't there, but my greatest accomplishment would be graduating, getting my BA, and you said what was it?
Greatest
Failure?
Failure or regret?
Greatest failure or regret? Greatest failure or regret in life, right?
Yeah.
I think one of my greatest regrets so far is the fact that that I gave myself too much of a break after college. So I'm like really regretting not starting the credential program. Because if I would have started the credential program as soon as I graduated, I think right now I would have been a permanent teacher, getting there. But yeah, one of my biggest regrets would be not starting the credential program right after college.
Okay. Alright, down to the last three. So you kind of talked about this, but specifically, what was your first impression of me? You mentioned how we met.
So first impressions of you was, well, after reading your title, I had to see like who you are, like what you're doing, how you talk, and stuff like that. Just basically just watch the stream for a bit before I decided to rate you. And after I saw positive vibes and stuff like that, and you even asked me when I rated you, you're like, dude, like, what made you want to rate me? I was like, bro, positive vibes. I was like, I've always been one to, I like positive vibes, so when if I'm around friends and we're like, the vibes are just really cool and stuff like that, like I'll be more inclined to hang out with you more often, and the fact that you give off such positive vibes is what keeps me coming literally back to your streams and just like chilling with your community and talking to all the individuals that I've met through you, and with it's honestly, I'm that makes me glad that I met like people like you, me, you know, just it's a great first impression, and I'm glad I rated you pretty much, you know.
Appreciate
Meeting cool
that. Yeah.
Yeah, great
Okay.
first impression, really good.
Let's go with top 5 streamers that you find yourself watching nowadays, and it doesn't have to be in specific order.
Top 5 streamers. XQC, always. His content is authentic. Authentic. You always just do you know who the XQC is?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll know what I'm talking about, but yeah, XQC, he brings authenticity to his stream. He says whatever he wants, and he's not saying it to make you laugh on purpose. He's saying it because that's how he really feels, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll always watch that guy, man. That guy is funny. He's such a troll, but he's funny. Top 5 streamers. Hafu. I like watching Hafu. She brings chill vibes. She's always chilling, always. Her, you said of all time or right now?
Just now. Yeah.
Now? Okay. Yeah, now they've been the ones. Hafu. Who else? Tenzi. Anytime he turns on his stream, I like to tune in. Dude, when you watch that kid pop off on Valorant, like every stream, you know he's gonna do something crazy. Every stream, he's just that. He brings that fire into Valorant. I love watching him. On the daily, yeah, 100%. Well, when he does stream, to be honest, he's not a daily streamer, but I hop in every chance I get. Top 5, you said. Right now, besides, there's a couple people that I pretty much tune into on the daily, that I enjoy watching. So not including the big streamers anymore, because I don't really watch that many big streamers. I've been more into just watching, like, you know, small streamers and people who aren't about the community. So lately I've been mainly watching Yumi, Linda. I've been watching Ian. I've been watching you, this girl named Twiffany. I hop into a mommy stream every now and then. But yeah, it's mainly been a few selected people that I've been watching, like on the daily, since I'm on Twitch often.
Nice. Okay. And lastly, using your connection, who would you like to see on this podcast as a future guest? So, like, another streamer.
Using my Fetty Guapo. I'd love to see my brother on this podcast. If I could choose another streamer,
Okay.
yeah, it'd definitely be my brother. Definitely.
There you go. All right, that was all the questions for me. How are you feeling after answering all that for almost 4 hours?
Bro, my voice is like dry, and I'm like, it's like cracking every other minute. I've never been on a podcast, so it's like, you know, I don't know how long they take, and I don't hydrate right now, Lita. Thank you, Bandy. Yeah, I don't know how long they're going to take, and sometimes I can expand so much on a certain detail.
Yeah.
That, you know, I don't know if it's too much or not, you know, but like I can just keep on going and branching out on many different things that connect with a certain thing when I'm talking about, when you ask me certain questions, you know, like, yeah, it's just, I can keep on going and going and going. The more I remember about, like, say, my childhood, my gaming, my streaming, you know, college and stuff like that, you know, it just comes and comes and comes. So I can keep on going. But this is the first podcast I've ever been on. I'm happy to be here, and thank you for inviting. But yeah, it's cool 4-hour podcast. It's insane. I mean, I'm glad glad you invited me. It's cool.
What are you planning to do after?
After this podcast,
Yeah.
I think I'm just gonna chill with my friends. I'm not so. It's already 10:50, so I'm not gonna turn on the stream today because I have work tomorrow. So I'm gonna chill for a little bit. You know, talk to them. You know, I'm gonna look at my fantasy team. I'm gonna look at some streams tonight, see who's streaming, and just chill before I head to bed.
Okay, sounds good. I'm gonna close out this portion for the YouTube segment, and then after that, I'll just let you go.
Oh, sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. This has been the Chang Gang Podcast, episode 39, featuring Charles, aka Liitaboy. Lita, thank you so much for being here and for committing all this time. It was great to learn a lot about you, and I mean a lot.
Thank you for having me, Wilson. I appreciate it.
Of course. Guys, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Please note that we will have episode 40 sooner rather than later. And yeah, until then, just thank you for all the support. Any last words from you, Lita?
No last words. Just I want to say hi to everybody that tuned into the stream. You know, I appreciate everyone listening to me, hearing me vent somewhat, and listening to the podcast. You know, you guys are awesome. And thank you for inviting me, Wilson. This was dope.
Yes, of course. I'm glad that you joined. Okay, guys, take care, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.